I wasn't allowed to watch Blue's Clues.
As a kid?
I'm not even joking. I wasn't allowed to watch Barney. I wasn't allowed to watch Blue's Clues.
What was wrong with Barney?
I wasn't allowed to read the Magic Tree
Your
House
parents
books.
are like, dinosaurs aren't real. You can't watch this.
I wasn't allowed to watch Sesame Street.
Why not Blue's Clues? That's like the most innocent of all the like, what did they think was...
Do you want to know the real...
Was the letter of the day going to corrupt you? Like, what is this?
My mom didn't let us watch Blue's Clues because she thought Steve was gay.
I think he was, too. I mean, that's fine. He was a gay man who lived by himself with a very helpful dog and talked to inanimate objects all the time. That's fine. Wait, but that's so dumb, though. Like, your mom was so homophobic that, like, just the idea that this fictional character in a fictional animated universe could possibly be gay was enough for her to be like, no Blue's Clues.
Yeah.
Wow.
We weren't allowed to watch Men in Black. I wasn't allowed to watch Harry Potter. I wasn't allowed to watch Lord of the Rings.
Blue, today we're going to figure out where that hate speech is coming from.
Wow.
Turns out it's coming.
It's a clue.
Wait, what's the play? Turns out it's coming from fucking Kokomo. Like
it's coming from that MAGA hat on the counter.
Oh my god! Do your parents have MAGA hats? Do they?
Do they have a giant Trump flag outside their farm? According to my sister.
They're those people now. They're
giant Trump flag, MAGA
they're
hats.
so
all of it,
committed.
man.
Hey, look, they're committed to the bit. You can give them that. They're committed
something.
to the bit. Committed to a bit of racism and homophobia and transphobia and probably Islamophobia at this point. I mean, I'm sure they're probably those people who are like mispronouncing Zoran Mamdani's name. Like they're just like
they're definitely they're one of those people that are like, Zoran Mamdani wants to get rid of prison.
Your parents were like no Blue's Clues. Fox News. Like, let's do that.
Kinda. Dude, the amount of stories, the amount that...
You're going to listen to Scarborough and the other guy who said, fuck it, we'll do it live. I forget his name now. And all the pundits. That's your Blue's Clues. I got Mr. Salt and Mrs. Pepper and Paprika. You got...
And Paprika?
I can't even... You got Glenn Beck. That's...
Yes.
Who was...
We've listened to him.
I would say, I'd say Glenn Beck's gayer than Steve, for sure.
Well, okay. Do you remember, obviously, like Passion of the Christ when that came out? That was like a huge deal in my sphere of the world.
George Clooney did that, right? Or no, not George Clooney.
Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson. Yeah.
And then Jim Caviezel, famously terrible person
Jim
who treated
Caviezel.
people like shit.
He was in it.
After Passion of the Christ came out. And tell me if this makes any sense, because I think about this sometimes.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm
going to put on my Logic hat. Here we go.
Put on your Logic hat.
It's on.
So, nothing wrong with this.
Do you like that my Logic hat
mind.
is shaped like an elephant? All right.
It's got bells on it. I like it.
So many bells.
My parents were devoutly like religious Christians, which like I have no problem with religion. Like, be religious, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's not the point of
this.
This
go ahead.
This is not a knock. I'm prefacing this with this is not a knock on religion.
It's a knock on their religion.
It's a knock on my parents, who suck. But after Passion of the Christ, my church, like all the adults, right, because it was rated R, went to go see Passion of the Christ.
All the adults.
Over the next couple of days, a picture of Jim Caviezel as Jesus showed up framed in our house.
Wow. Like that fast. Like
Yeah.
Listen, they're just big Jim Caviezel fans. They love that guy. What else
They
was
liked
he in?
his show too, Person of Interest.
Great.
Which was bad.
Great. Well, they probably, like, they're sitting down there watching it. They're like, this guy was Jesus.
Well, yeah, because he's white. He's like me.
Your parents suck.
They do, and I'm open about it.
So many times we start this podcast with just the message that your parents suck, but I like to think that it's a cautionary tale every time for listeners who might have children someday to not be like this.
Don't be like my parents whose names I'm going to change. Don't be like Bob and Betty.
It's a real Aesop's fables of children's memory. Like that we're just
It's bad. It's really bad.
Well, on that lovely note, let's start the fucking podcast.
Let's do it.
you ready to clap?
I sure fucking am.
3, 2, 1. On time, every time. Welcome back to another episode of the UnPop podcast. I am Kevin Miner, your host, Capitano Papi Todo Siempre. He, him. With me, as always, is...
Matthews, your captain, Papi, and fuck! I didn't rehearse it this week.
Wow.
Wow. This is Odie Matthews cooking up content in the kitchen, but we're out of half the ingredients, so I hope you like red crayons and tomato paste.
That was the most ex-military intro you've ever done. I hope you guys like eating crayons.
Yes, sir.
Fuck yeah. All right.
I have to say this real quick. You said that your Logic hat has bells on it.
I took it off.
Well, I said that. Right, no, and that's great. I can see it in the background. It looks great. Last night I was telling you this right before we started recording. I hosted D&D for these 3 grad students at CU out here. Mm-hmm. And one of them, and I fucking love this, showed up in a big jester hat with bells on it.
Wow.
For his character that also wore a giant jester hat. So he literally had a prop, and every time he moved, there was a bunch of bells that would ding-a-ling.
I love that. I don't have bells on this, but look, I've got a hanging Spiderman on my cup.
Is that from the movie?
Yeah, because I have a fucking problem, Odie. I keep buying these stupid things. Look, but it says
I bought
Thwip on
one cup this year,
It says,
and that's it.
Meanwhile.
Well, because Regal, you go to Regal's, right?
Yeah.
See, Regal's has the better, like, merch like that.
They do.
I go
Look
to
at
AMC.
this Spider-Man comic. I got to start, like, giving these away. If you would
good.
some of my... random ass movie merch. I think I got
you got Mad Max.
I got
Spider-Man.
Mad Max. I got Spider-Man. I've got Wicked. I've got Captain America: Brave New Bird. I got a 28 years later thing. I think I've got. Oh, I got the He-Man cup. That's probably the best one. I got the Skeletor cup. That's pretty sick.
Oh.
I got an Odyssey popcorn bucket here. What's up? I also have a Spider-Man popcorn bucket now. I've got a Dune popcorn bucket. I got a Captain America popcorn bucket. I've got... it just keeps going.
You buy... It's crazy because, like, I've only bought one cup, and I did it, and not that I regret it, but I got the scrotum-looking Supergirl cup, the one that has the foreskin or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So
I almost got a Supergirl popcorn bucket. That one looks sick, actually.
It did look... I like this one. I got the one with Crypto, but what I've been doing... my partner, Nate, hates that cup. And not because, like, it's ugly or anything, but, like, I kept leaving it out, and it doesn't match our decor at all.
Yeah.
So what I've started doing is I've started putting it random places. Like, I put it in our, like, cabinet that has, like, glass, like, glass see-through. I've been putting it random places, waiting for him to find it.
Yeah.
And it's been, like, a game for me now, like, hiding the cup and waiting for him to find it.
Well, the main reason I get these, too, is, like, it's, like, already $11 for a large soda, right? And so if I'm going to the movies with somebody... I can get that large soda for $11, or for like $5 extra, I can just get the thing. And then a lot of times it's like there's like deals if you're like a Regal member, and I have the unlimited, and like so there's just so many reasons that I have to like get these things that are not much more than the money you would spend on the thing at the theater anyway. And when I go by myself, I just bring like a can of soda and some Trailmix, you know? But like when I go with somebody, I'm like, you want a large popcorn? Like we should probably do large popcorn.
It's like the oldest person snack ever. I bring a diet soda and some Trailmix to the movie, Shotty.
Fucking old, dude. What do you want from me? Yeah,
I want some news, Kevin.
Okay. Let's do some news.
Yeah, baby. It's the UnPop News coming at you fresh and hot from the command deck of the SS Marlon Brando. Let's see what this week had in store.
Your Trailmix is probably all raisins.
You know it. that's actually... I bring some... You want some Trailmix? Kevin, those are just raisins.
And a couple grapes. I'm waiting for those to turn.
All right, what do you fucking have for the news, you wisecracker, you little whippersnapper, you rambunctious pup?
I could probably take that and edit it to where it makes it sound like you're calling me a wise cracker.
You are a wisecracker, a cracker who is wise in many ways. Keep going.
Let's see.
Go.
News. What do we want to do first? Let's talk about some trailers.
Okay. Trailers!
You want a trailer that we're excited for or a trailer that we don't care about?
Both.
Okay. We got a trailer in front of Spider-Man Brand New Day.
We did.
For Jumanji 4.
Yes.
AKA Jumanji Open World. 'Cause you have-
It's Jumanji Open World. It's the third new. We have to do this every time. It's the third new, but
Yep.
the fourth total.
Because the first one with not Bill Murray, Robin Williams still counts.
Yep.
And then you got the first of the new Jumanjis, which is really 2 Jumanji, 2 Furious, and then you've got
100%.
the third Jumanji, which is the second in the new one, which is 3 Jumanjis, too many.
Yes, sir.
And now we've got Jumanji 3, 4 times the charm. This looks fucking terrible.
Yep.
It's been a while since we got the last Jumanji movie, which ended with the video game characters coming into the real world.
Yep.
And I thought that would be an interesting premise, but they're just recycling all of the same bits from the first 2, where we get people in other bodies acting different. Only this time there's a kid in Kevin Hart's body, and the real game characters of The Rock and Jack Black and stuff are all just dumb NPCs
They're
who
in
run
demo
silly and talk
mode
funny.
or something. Yeah.
It's just
yeah.
I don't know.
But then at some point they go back into the game anyway.
Into the game, so it's what's the point?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just over and
Pick
over the
one.
same thing.
Pick one, guys. Also, more Nick Jonas. That he was the best.
Just make it about him.
Yeah, why? Come on.
For real, honestly.
I
Him
was
and
in the
Jack
trailer
Black.
too. I'm like, where's Nick Jonas? He was the best
Yeah.
character in all of them. And he's
I
in the
think
video
part
game.
of
It doesn't matter if he dies. Bring him out.
Well,
Who
yeah.
cares? The rules of this universe clearly don't matter anymore.
Where's Bill? Where's Colin Hanks? Where's Tom Hanks' son?
What's your favorite Jumanji?
None of them.
I like the first one with Robin Williams. I think that
The
one
first
was
one's
sick.
the first one's fine. It kind of traumatized me as a kid.
It
a little bit.
traumatized you as a kid?
A little
Why?
kid turns into a monkey and a giant plant tries to eat people out of a fireplace.
Yeah, it's pretty sick, actually.
Yeah, it's pretty traumatizing.
No, I love that, actually.
I don't know. The Jumanji movies just have never really done it for me, and these new ones, I think my thing is in my head, the kids, the teenagers that started all of it,
Yeah.
are the main characters.
Yeah.
But I always forget that it's The Rock, Kevin Hart, Karen Gillan, Jack Black, and I gotta be honest.
Yeah.
In the first one, I think that bit works of having the teenage girl in Jack Black's body and all of that,
Yeah.
and the scrawny kid in the rocks. But doing it in the second movie where it's switching bodies, and then we're doing it again in the third one, it's okay, know when to change it up a little bit, but you can't really change it up because this is what Jumanji is now.
Genuinely, had they done one, I think it would have stayed a cult classic, and they could have even come back around and rebooted it again with brand new actors, right? But instead,
100, yeah.
we're getting the same thing that we get with everything, where it's oh, you like that? You anything that we like, they're all right, cool, we're gonna waterboard you with that until you're sick of it. Put the bag on your head now. It doesn't matter. We're turning the faucet on. Let's go. Sorry if
'cause I
that's
think the other
triggering
thing
for any of
too-
our listeners, by the way.
Well, I think the other thing is the second one, I'll give it props. At least they took
Yeah.
the grandparents of Danny DeVito and Donald Glover and stuff, and they were let's put them in the game. It's
Yeah,
okay,
whatever.
That's kind of clever.
Eh.
A 90-year-old man in a video game, that's
Yeah.
that could be interesting.
whatever.
But I don't know, this open world thing. I could be wrong. We're gonna see it. Comes out on Christmas. Merry Christmas.
I'm not
to
seeing
everybody.
that. I'm seeing Werewolf.
No, we're seeing this.
No, Werewolf comes out on Christmas. I refuse. You can go see this. I'm going to come in talking about Robert Eggers. I'm going to be going, he's done it again, and you're going to be going, they've fucking
see
done
both.
it again. No.
The week before, we're gonna see Dune and Doomsday, and then it's gonna be it's
This is
Doomsday,
the
and then it's Where Jumanji.
And then it's Jumanji Wolf.
Jumanji Wolf.
Jumanji Wolf.
So we got 4 good movies in 2 weeks.
Everybody get
Kevin.
ready for Christmas, a.k.a. Jumanji Wolf.
Jumanji Wolf. It's right after Doomsday.
Right after Doomsday, we've got Jumanji Wolf. I mean,
Yes, we're gonna go see both.
remember when we used to just get Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings around Christmas? I miss those.
Or
days.
Avatar,
Remember
the
back
blue
in
movies?
the day when you
December
when
used
you
to
could bring
be
a bunch
Lord
of
of the-
raisins to the movies
Yeah.
and people wouldn't judge you for
No.
it.
No, we're still gonna judge you for that. But what I won't judge you for, Kevin,
Okay.
is being a neuromancer.
Oh, you won't judge me for making you watch the trailer for Neuromancer right before this
I
podcast
saw it
started.
pop up this week, and I'm like, oh, cool, another TV show, whatever. Because we get trailers for
Whatever.
TV shows all the time.
I've talked
I
to
didn't know
you
anything
about
about this.
Neuromancer on this podcast.
You probably have, but you know what?
Neuromancer-
I don't
okay.
listen.
Neuromancer is a property that is near and dear to my heart. And by property, I mean a fucking novel. I don't mean to call it a property. It's a brilliant novel written by William Gibson. It is it is one of the quintessential sci-fi novels that helped to expand and like really give birth to the genre as a pop culture movement. William Gibson didn't even think that he wrote sci-fi. Like, that's how crazy Neuromancer is. Like, everybody else was like, this is sci-fi. And he's like, actually, sci-fi is more, and this is me quoting him, sci-fi is more the excuse for what I write. He's like, that's my excuse for the weird shit I'm he goes, I'm really writing a surrealist commentary on modern times. And you're like, wait, what? And that's what, but like, this gave birth to The Matrix, Blade Runner, highly influenced Cyberpunk 2077. So, like, this property has all of the little seeds of those ones in it. And that's why I'm saying property, because all of these other ones, like, were birthed out of it. Kind of like Keanu Reeves popping out of all the weird goo in the first Matrix.
Oh, his battery bucket or
yeah,
whatever?
Yeah, this is the battery bucket for that's not that doesn't sound great. This is the battery bucket for all the other sci-fi books.
Are your double A's in there?
Here's the thing. Seeing it on screen, this is one of the rare cases too where I think for a lot of people, maybe not for me, maybe not for some purists, maybe not for people who are like really, really in love with the book, but I do think this is going to be one of the few where like a lot of people are going to be going, you know, I actually enjoyed the show more than I enjoyed the book because the book is so dense.
Well, it's kind of like Dune, right? Like,
yes and no. I feel like Dune still, like, people are like, I feel like the general consensus is the book is better on Dune. I feel like this is one where like the general consensus might be like, this is more digestible than.
But the book is dense, right?
True.
The Dune
Yeah,
book?
you know what?
So that was more of my comparison.
You got me. I quit.
Okay, cool. We are now accepting applications for co-hosting of the UnPop podcast. Please email in at mysecretpoweris@gmail.com to replace Kevin.
No, I refuse. I am a middle-aged white man, and I refuse to give up my position until I'm at least 82.
Did you quit or not?
Huh?
Did you quit?
Oh, scrub that. Redact it.
Oh, well, I guess you could just edit it out. Beep it.
I guess we could.
You could.
Anyway, what'd you think of the
That's your
trailer?
job.
Well, we haven't even talked about the trailer.
Oh, yeah. Sam Callum,
Yeah.
who is in 2 rom-coms. He was in
Yes.
Eternity with Miles Teller and somebody. I don't know who's the woman in that. I don't remember. Doesn't matter. And then he's in another movie coming out this year called One Night Only.
Yeah.
Where people can only have sex like one night a year unless you're married.
That's
which
it.
Is weird. I like him as an actor. This looks really good. Like I told you, I think it looks like Blade Runner and Matrix. It also kind of has the cities remind me of the cities in Alien Earth.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit. I like that futuristic style where it's like, yeah, it's got like that Blade Runner Cyberpunk 2077 look. This just looks really good. It's a very short trailer. It's only like 1:15, and it just looks really good. And
Oh, his
I think what
name's
stands out is the way that
Turner, by the way.
What did I say?
Sam
I said
Callum.
Sam Callum.
Yeah, Callum
I'm
Turner.
Fucked up. Callum
British
Turner.
actor
That's who it
Callum
is.
Turner.
Yeah, him.
Yeah.
He might be James Bond.
Might be.
I think he's in the running.
We don't
I
know.
think.
Maybe.
I would honestly.
Could be.
I think it'd be pretty
Yeah.
good. But no, this looks really good. And I think the thing that makes this trailer so compelling to me is the way it's edited.
Oh, yeah.
With the sound design.
For sure.
It's one of the best like quick trailers I've seen in a while.
I'd
like
agree.
really hooked me in immediately.
Yeah. I'd agree.
But no, it looks good. I'm excited.
It looks very good. I think anybody who watches this, you're going to get the sense that this is very much like The Matrix, that this is very much like the sci-fi properties that you've grown to know and love. For sure. What else you got?
I like it. Let's talk about Rings of Power, your favorite TV show on the planet.
Let's talk about them. I love Rings of Power.
You're single-handedly keeping the show alive, Kevin.
Listen, Odie, I texted you when Rings of Power got announced, like the next season. I texted you, why does this show have to hurt me so good? Because, and I have a group of like nerdy friends, and we get together and play like D&D, Magic the Gathering. We watch Lord of the Rings and shit, and like all of us are in agreement. We're gonna watch the show, and it's bad. The show,
yeah. I mean, apparently I've never seen
the
it.
world itself is great. And the characters are still cool to watch. They're cool, right? Like, I'm watching the characters going, wow, they did a really good job with Sauron. This scene is horrible, though. Oh, man, that wizard's real cool. I wonder who he is. He's probably Gandalf. Is he Gandalf? Yeah, we got to the end of season 2. He's Gandalf. All right, got it. The good news about this is it seems like they have sidelined a couple of plots for this season. Because this season is going to be primarily about the sudden shift in power in the landscape of Middle-earth. Now that the sudden shift in the rings of power, where Sauron is really I think going to be a central point. I really hope we continue to get, because Galadriel felt better in the second season, and a lot of the characters got a lot of development. They got a lot of conversational and interpersonal development in the second season. I really hope we get a lot of action-based development in the third season.
And Sauron is the dragon that Sam has to
fucking
fight.
Kill you if you shut the fuck up. You don't do that with Lord of the Rings, Odie.
Dude, if we had a video component, the look on your face, I wish people could have seen. It was instant, what the fuck?
I was having I was having a rage aneurysm. I was having.
No, it's okay. I know Sauron's. I know he's the elf that gives Frodo his cloak or whatever.
Remember when I quit?
I thought this was interesting about Rings of Power. Simon Pegg is cast as the voice of the Balrog.
I don't even know what that means at this point.
And Sauron's going to fight the Balrog. And I do know Balrog is the one that fights Gandalf because it's one of the most epic moments in cinematic history where he goes, "You shall not pass."
Gandalf is going to fight
incredible.
The Balrog. The Balrog fights Gandalf in Rings of Power. The Balrog also fights Gandalf
What? He
in
fights
Lord
it
of
in
the
the first one.
Well, okay, but
he fights it in the Rings of Power too?
Okay.
They're just recycling plot lines.
Here's the thing. I don't know what the fuck this is one of the things where I'm like, why is this show hurting me so good? They could have had anybody fight the Balrog in this. They're literally writing stuff that's never been written, but it's fucking Gandalf. You're gonna fight the guy.
You know what this is?
You know what? If it's done well, it means that the fight in Lord of the Rings is a grudge match, right? If it's done poorly, it almost lessens the quality of that Lord of the Rings scene. So I'm like, don't fuck it up, guys. But they did have a really good scene in the last season where a character did a big slow motion jump at the Balrog, and that was sick.
Oh.
Yeah, that was really cool. Sometimes the payoff is amazing on the show. I can't and then sometimes I literally am crying because it's so bad.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, the Balrog, if Gandalf fights the Balrog, what that reminds me of, and I think that Star Wars did it way better, having never seen this, but you can tell me if I'm wrong. Obviously in episode 4, when Vader and Obi-Wan meet, Vader says, "The last time we met, you were the master, but now I'm the master." Okay. And everyone was like, "Oh, in episode 3, Obi-Wan sliced him up." But then we get the Obi-Wan show, and they have 2 rematches in that. One where Vader kind of puts Obi-Wan on his heels, and then Obi-Wan slices open his mask and has that conversation with Darth Vader.
Yeah.
And it fills in the gap because it still keeps that line in episode 4 alive.
Yeah.
Where Vader's like, "Oh, you were the master," but, fueled more of his hate.
Yeah.
So it could be like that if they do it right. They could fill the gap in because honestly, Obi-Wan wasn't the best show, but that moment with Vader is one of my favorite moments in Star Wars.
I think so. Because this is a prequel, right? This is the Second Age, and that's the thing about all right, we have an episode about this. Very early on in the UnPop lore space, discography, whatever you in the catalog. Of episodes. Very early on, I explain the beginning, the world building and structure of Tolkien's Lord of the Rings, going up all the way up into the first movie, The Fellowship, and kind of giving an overview of characters and plot. This is a prequel because it's in the Second Age, and there's 3 main ages of Middle-earth that we are all familiar with. The third one being the most popular. That's where The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings take place. This is in the Second Age, which is a lot less known. However, the Silmarillion, the book written by J.R.R. Tolkien that he originally tried to publish after The Hobbit, covers all of this, but it's basically a tome. So it's cool that we're getting the show, so once again, you don't have to read this really dense book, but at the same time, a lot of the execution has just fallen on its face. It's been like, oh, it's going to be really cool, and then no, it wasn't cool.
I think I gotta watch this show.
I recommend it because it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. Like,
but I love bad stuff.
I would drop it if it was really that bad. I would stop watching it.
You've piqued my curiosity because like I like watching stuff that's bad but then has good moments. I mean, literally my whole YouTube channel is that.
You would love
I've never
this show.
done that with a show.
I've
never done that with a show.
You'd be eating real good with Rings of Power.
I know that we're working on a rewatch of Lord of the Rings this year, so
hell yeah. You mentioned Star Wars. And there is some big Star Wars news this week, and I'm going to transition to this because I'm excited about this. Dungeons and Dragons, the game, so like the framework of playing a game, has announced that they are going to do a Star Wars crossover. To which my immediate question was, how?
Oh, I know
how can you ever cover all of that shit other than to be like the core? That's its own core rule book, like that's 500 pages minimum of like material to develop outward. But then on the heels of having that thought, I immediately thought, oh my God, do it like a Far Reach of the Galaxy bounty hunter centric political thriller fucking D&D quest. Like what? Fucking turn a meteor into like a giant worm-based dungeon and have blasters and fucking lightsabers in there? Like there's the universe itself is rife for storytelling, and I'll pass it to you, otherwise I'll just keep talking.
No, I think that you could, for one, I
can
have
keep
been
talking?
asked. Oh, you want to?
No,
I mean, I'm not gonna interrupt
you.
I'm polite, Kevin. I'll let you talk.
I'm
Shut
not.
up and let me talk.
I'm gonna talk again.
I have been asked by my current D&D group
Yep.
to do a Star Wars D&D one-shot.
Yep.
And I think that you could easily, like, you could take, like, the Mandalorians, and those could be your fighters if you wanted to.
Yep.
Or even, like, a mix of, you could have, like, your Jedi and your Sith could be a mixture of, like, warlocks and sorcerers with the Force. Like, there's so much you could do with it in terms of like class-based stuff.
Hear me out.
But in terms of like
you got your Jedi, right? And they are what are they? They're monk paladins, right? They're multi-classing. You got your Sith. What are they? They're Oathbreaker paladin warlocks. Like that's what you got.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I think that there's a lot of ways you could slot in like your stormtroopers, your Mandalorians, your Sith, your Jedi, your Imperial Guard, your Royal Guard, your neutral Jedi, your gray Jedis. Like there's ways to incorporate
Solo?
all that.
He's a ranger. Duh. Like
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yes, with a beast familiar from fucking Kashyyyk. Come on. Like
well, Chewie's a barbarian.
I'm really showing all my nerd colors on this episode.
Chewie's a barbarian because he doesn't wear armor and he's big.
Chewie's
and he's
a barbarian.
Strong.
We got this. You know what? Wizards of the Coast, sit down. We got this. We're handling this.
Yoda
right now.
is a bard, obviously, because he talks in riddles.
Yoda's a halfling. First off.
A halfling bard.
He's a halfling bard.
As a giant Star Wars fan, I can say this.
This will be the most hate mail we ever get, is us talking about D&D Star Wars, and people just being like, no, that's not it.
It is, and you're wrong, and we're right.
Clip that
I think
for the fucking YouTube.
I think this is going to be
I think it's going to be
really
amazing.
fun.
Here's the thing. I rarely am buying D&D modules anymore. Like you get to a point as a DM where you really don't need them. You're more so having them to like have them. Like they're more decorative than they are functional. Every once in a while you like whip one open, you're like, okay, yeah, that's stat block. All right, well I can mimic that and I'll put that over here.
I do that.
Yeah. You do it all the time.
Yeah.
You just start kind of like
100%.
thumbing through them more than anything else because you become like such a good, I wouldn't say such a good, but like such an experienced player / dungeon master that you can just like what to do. However,
or you can make up an entire session on the spot because you didn't prep like I did last night.
That's just a true dungeon master.
Thank you.
That is the truest dungeon master moment. Is like you're like I haven't prepped at all. but we're gonna wing it, and it's gonna be great. And sometimes those are the best sessions. But
And it worked.
I gotta say, there's nothing better than getting a fresh tome from Wizards of the Coast and just sitting down with like a cup of coffee and a fucking couple pieces of toast and just like going through it like page by page and absorbing every bit of information that you can so that you don't have to prep for that week and can show up and just wing it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm about to wing it again tonight.
Oh, good. I hope you do. I hope you have
I'm
fun
going
winging
to.
it. Are you going to X-wing it? Is that what you're
Yeah.
gonna
Oh,
do?
yeah. Y wing, X wing, A wing, B wing. A wing is my favorite, by the way.
What are the B wings? What are the
B wings are the ones that when they stand up, they kind of look like a T.
Oh,
and they're the bombers.
Yep. Okay, those are the bombers. My favorite are the snow speeders, right? Is that what are the little
Yeah,
snow
those
ones?
are just snow
The
speeders.
Hoth
Snow speeders.
ones. The ones
Yeah,
that did
snow
up.
speeders.
Yeah, I love those. Those are my favorite of
Yeah.
the entire fucking canon. Anyway,
Razor Crest is Mandalorian ship. I can keep going. TIE fighters, TIE bombers. You've got Darth Vader's TIE fighter.
this is the nerdiest
you got the
episode we've
Millennium
done in
Falcon.
a long time. Keep going.
You got Emperor Palpatine's shuttle, which I used to have that Lego
Is that
kit.
what it's called?
You have the Slave One, which is Jango Fett's ship that he gives to Boba Fett.
Oh, sick.
Or Boba Fett.
It's called the
Fix-
Slave One.
They changed it to be just. I think he changed it to like something else. but-
SLV One. Like, just get rid of the
Slave
get
One
rid
was
of the get rid of the A and the E.
I honestly think it's really funny. This is the last bit on the Star
Get
Wars.
rid of the
and we'll move on
vowels.
to the
I
next bit of
couldn't
news.
think of the word vowels. All right, keep going.
The voice actor for Boba Fett in like a game
Yeah.
came out when they changed the name of Boba Fett's ship and was like, it'll always be the Slave One. How dare Disney go woke? And like the thing is, I don't think there's anything wrong with calling it the Slave One necessarily, but like,
It's a made up shit, bro.
dude, you were the voice actor for Boba Fett in like a video game. Like nobody cares about your opinion.
Calm
You are
down,
not
you're
Boba
fine.
Fett.
You're fine.
Tamora Morrison is Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, bud.
What do we got next?
Elden Ring movie wrapped filming.
Oh,
Alex Garland.
this is huge. I've never
there's
played
not
Elden
much
Ring.
to
Have
say
you played
about
it?
I have not.
Here's
But the cast is interesting.
Here's what I have to say. Yeah, the cast, thank you for not just going for star power, because that means that you were able to spend more on budget. You're able to spend more on actual like effects budget, design, world building, stuff like that. Here's what I have to say. Elden Ring is a fucking movement, right? Like that game came out and totally people were like, this is the best Souls type game I've ever played. And it had really rich storytelling. The writers on this, Garland, Martin, and Miyazaki. 3 well-known writers from multiple universes, including Annihilation, Game of Thrones, and fucking Bloodborne, one of the most cult classic, story-based, open-world, Souls-type video games that anyone's ever played, on top of Elden Ring. These are the guys who have come together to write this. So if the movie ends up being of the quality of those 3 writers together, it's going to be fucking insane.
Yeah, I think there's not much to say since it's just wrapped filming, but I think it's safe to say that the team behind this
Yes.
has the chance to make a movie, because I think people crave the medieval fantasy D&D, Elden Ring, Bloodborne,
We love it.
that esque, right? That Lord of the Rings,
Bloodborne's
that
more steampunk,
high
but
fantasy.
yeah.
Yeah, like the high fantasy, like steampunky kind of stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I personally, I think part of the reason I like the Odyssey so much is it really scratched an itch of Greek mythology and, like, kind of that ancient fighting style. Like, I don't know what, it's not medieval. What's the word I'm looking for here? Like, I don't really know, but that whole vibe, like swords and shields, it's like that sword and shield sandals epic. You know what I'm saying?
Sword and shield. Okay, there's sword and
spiraling.
shield. There's sword and sandal, which is like Assassin's Creed is sword and sandal, right? That's known as sword. Like the first Assassin's Creed, or like Greek,
I know how to phrase
mythology,
this.
you call it sword and sandal. Then medieval, you call it sword and shield, and then there's sword and wand when you get into the more fantasy side.
Okay, before guns were invented, that time period is fun.
Yeah, we could call it a pre-modern punk, pre-modern sword.
I feel
punk.
like people understand the vibe I'm going for. The Lord of the Rings, all of that. And I think that sometimes you get really good ones, like your Lord of the Rings.
Yep.
Sometimes you get mediocre ones, like your The Hobbits.
Yep.
And then sometimes you get really bad ones, like Rings of Power. I'm using Lord of the Rings as my
That's
example.
totally fine.
But I think Elden Ring has a chance to really fill a gap because like the D&D movie, which we found out this week that the sequel to that movie was written, but it probably will never get made because of budget reasons and because it wasn't financially as successful as they wanted, even though it did well on streaming.
It really did, though.
And Elden Ring has the chance to kind of fill that gap of people that really wanted more D&D, but maybe like a little bit more serious, right? Because Elden Ring is going to be a little bit more serious than the D&D movie. It's going to be a little bit darker.
Yeah.
And I think all of that to be said that Elden Ring 2028, like honestly, Kevin, 2027 and 2028 are shaping up to be 2 years just
huge,
full of banger movies.
Huge.
Like I feel like we're entering a new era of movies because it's not just superhero movies to look forward to. Like yes, next year we have Man of Tomorrow and probably Secret Wars, but there's so much more coming out. And then 2028 we have The Batman Part 2, but we also have so much more. So like for the first time in a while we get really big comic book movies that I'm excited for, but then other big movies that aren't comic book movies that I'm excited for, and that's nice.
I also think it's a really good sign that it's finished filming and they've kept the 2028 release date. Because it shows that they understand the amount of time it's going to take to make that world look good. So,
Agreed.
I'm happy that it's done filming. I think that's good news. I'm looking forward to it. What else we got? We got anything else before we talk about John Bernthal and Tom Holland hanging out?
We got
and Zendaya?
One, we're going to keep this really brief.
Yeah.
Back in 2019, Kevin Feige came out on stage at San Diego Comic-Con and said, you know what we're going to do, guys? We're going to do Blade. And here's Mahershala Ali, one of the best actors ever to play Blade.
We were just talking about this last week.
7 years later, Kevin, I am so happy to announce that the Blade movie is finally dead for good. We're not getting it.
It's canceled.
I'm not happy about that.
Yeah, no,
that
me
was
neither.
a joke. Mahershala Ali basically came out and was like, they had me on contract for 7 years. They have billions of dollars. And I love this. He was like, if they wanted to make Blade, they would have made Blade. And that kind of tells me, I kept up with the timeline of it because I was very curious. And this tells me that at some point, and I would say probably around 2021, 2022, when Marvel really started to take the hits of bad movies, I think they panicked, kept stringing him along, but I think years ago they knew they were never going to do a Blade movie.
Yeah, I mean, well, you and I were just talking about this, and we'll talk about it a little more when we get into the movie, which is Brand New Day, Spider-Man. If you've been watching Marvel for a while, you know that a universal or a multiversal reset is coming. Like, I don't know exactly when or where, but it's coming within the next couple years. And like you could even kind of see that, like if you've been paying attention to like Loki or even the Spider-Man before this, where like we're getting kind of the more crazy, like, oh, things are crisscrossing. If you watch Fantastic Four, like you're getting a sense that like, okay, we're about to enter like the next era of Marvel movies, not the next phase, because the phase is just the roadmap, right? But the era, and they are going to reset it. And Mahershala Ali is definitely going to be like aged out of Blade at that point.
He is.
Yeah. That being said, you fucked up, Marvel. You fucked up.
Yeah. No,
this
they did,
could have been amazing.
This could have been epic. Dude,
Look
you could
at
have got
Sinners.
him.
You guys fucked up, man.
Well, like, think about it. You could have had him as Blade. You could have brought back Oscar Isaac as Moon Knight, Ryan Gosling as Ghost Rider,
Midnight Suns.
the guy Kit Harington for Death Knight.
Midnight
you could have
Suns.
had Midnight Suns.
You could have done Midnight
Suns. You could
Suns,
have thrown
guys.
Wanda Maximoff in there too. You could have Scarlet Witch in there.
Guys, you fucked it
It
up.
would have been incredible.
Could have done Midnight Suns.
You fucked it up.
Yep.
Yeah. Also, did you see that Oscar Isaac said he would be down to do something with Ryan Gosling's Ghost Rider as Moon Knight?
I fucking listen. Moon Knight's another one of those ones. Like Moon Knight and Blade, I'd say are probably the two of the biggest fumbles of the Marvel universe for sure.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Like, why did we get a and not that it was a bad movie, but like, why did we get a Thunderbolts movie over Blade?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't get that. Well,
I don't get that either.
I do, because now you get the throwaway lines of we're the new Avengers, you know, like we're getting those lines, and you needed to do that to get there. I get it, right? I get that, but like,
I get it,
fucking you should have done Blade. Anyway.
And speaking of, you should have.
Speaking of shoulda.
You could have.
Speaking of coulda.
I hope. Are you ready?
Hit it.
Are you ready or not?
I'm not.
Are you ready or not?
I'm maybe.
Not?
I don't know.
What about Samara Weaving cast as Emma Frost in the new X-Men reboot?
I'm definitely ready for that. I think the new X-Men cast is looking dope. And we
And here's the
already
thing,
saw
Kevin.
one of them this week.
We only have 2 confirmed.
Yeah, and they're both very wonderful, powerful,
Talented
talented women actors, female actors. That like
I
just
have
so good.
a segment when we get into the movie, when we get into spoilers,
'Kay.
that I would like to I would like to talk about because I think it's very interesting and it's very telling about some stuff
Yeah.
in modern streaming.
Yep.
But yeah, not much. Emma Frost is going to be in the new X-Men movie. I deleted the director's name off my notes, but he did Skeleton Crew episodes, and then he directed the Thunderbolts movie.
Yes.
So he's doing X-Men, which I think works because Skeleton Crew is a group of younger kids teaming together with, Jude Law, and then you have Thunderbolts, which is a group of people teaming together. So he's clearly proven, because I liked Skeleton Crew and I liked Thunderbolts.
I like Skeleton
think
Crew. That
Thunderbolts
was a
was
good
great.
show.
I believe Thunderbolts we gave a good to.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think getting him to do a team up like the X-Men I think it could work. I think it could.
Although
So I'm
thinking
excited
back
to see.
on Thunderbolts, I would say it's just fun.
I'd have to watch it again. I think
Yeah.
I think I gave it good because of the message of mental health.
Yeah, I think
And
it's just
I
fun.
really liked that.
Um,
And it probably is.
Yeah.
But I think this new X-Men, I'm very, very curious to see who else they're going to cast. And I don't mean actors. I mean for positions on X-Men. Are we going to get a new Cyclops, a new Gambit, a new Beast,
First
a new
off,
Storm, a new Rogue?
we need a new Cyclops. Okay, you have to cast a new Wolverine. This is probably the most controversial one because now you have like a generation and a half worth of people who are like, it's Hugh Jackman. That's Wolverine. Can't you just clone Hugh Jackman? Can't we just de-age Hugh Jackman? Like, genuinely, I feel like they're going to be, it doesn't matter who you cast. People are going to be like, it's not Hugh Jackman, But I think that there's a lot of, you and I have talked about this. There's a lot of really great new producers, directors, actors, like cinematographers, the music coordinators that are on the up and up right now. So, that's probably going to be the most controversial casting, period. It doesn't matter. You could bring back James McAvoy as Professor Xavier because that works. He's older.
He's
That's
old
fine.
enough now
Yeah.
to be.
He can be that.
Yeah.
That's fine. I would actually
But
kind of
I want
love
new
that.
people all around. Give me new people all around for X-Men.
I'm
I
cool
want
with
new
that too.
faces.
Yeah.
I want fresh. Here's what I think is going to happen,
Yeah.
and then we'll move into Brand New Day.
Okay.
I think in Secret Wars,
Yep.
because it's going to be Battle World,
Yep.
which for anybody that doesn't know, quickly, Battle World is a world that Doom creates where he takes a lot of variants from across the multiverse and has them fight.
And this is going to
Bing,
be
bang, boom.
after Doomsday.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
going to be, and I'm going to read the Secret Wars comic and stuff, and we're going to watch I'm watching all the Marvel movies leading up to Doomsday and all that. I think what's going to happen on Secret Wars, we're going to get to Battle World.
Yep.
I think the whole my hope and my thought is every new X-Men is going to show up in Secret Wars.
That'd be
to
cool.
Jump off into their movie.
That'd be cool.
I don't think they're going to have a lot of screenplay, but I think we're going to see all the new stuff.
Yep.
And with the casting of Samara Weaving as Emma Frost and the other X-Men that we know is confirmed, I think they're going to go young 20s actors for everybody.
I would love that.
And I think it'd be nice to see. And I know X-Men First Class and all of them introduced a bunch of new X-Men, but those people were still like late 20s.
Yeah.
I'm talking like they look like teenagers almost.
Mhm.
One of them does in this new cast.
Yeah.
So I'm fucking stoked.
On the tail of that, I'm also, now I'm thinking about this, Ryan Reynolds is going to age out of Deadpool.
Oh, yeah.
Like we're getting to the point where like people are going to be aging out of these roles, and we're going to, if you want to tell the stories, you either need to reboot or recast. Period. I mean, we've got David Johnson as T'Challa's son,
Panther.
new Black Panther.
Yeah.
So like we're starting to get the new era of Marvel. Like it's slowly loading up. I'm genuine. I think they should keep Ironheart. That should be the new Iron Man for sure. I like that you've got Black Widow, who can be a part of the new Avengers. So like even if you're throwing together all these new people, I think it'll definitely still be there's an opportunity to do it well. Is where I'm really getting to. Like, there's an opportunity to reboot this, reset it, get new actors in place, and do it well. And, like you were saying, it starts with X-Men.
And I think that the new universe for the Marvel, when Secret Wars is over and they reboot, I like the idea of centering it around X-Men.
That'd be cool.
And characters that didn't get a lot of screen time or we haven't seen. Like, I think centering around the new universe around X-Men and Fantastic Four is interesting because the last universe was centered around Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor. So like, yes, you're gonna recast those at some point, and that's fine with me. But I think it's cool that we might not see them again for a while because we're gonna get a bunch of characters we haven't seen for a while.
100%.
And I'm excited.
Yeah, no, me too. I think it's looking good, baby. It's looking good. And if you don't have any other news, we can talk about something that's looking good and looked good and was good, and I've got the fucking cup from it.
Let's do it. I'm here.
Oh, cool. You ready?
I'm ready.
Odie Matthews of the movies?
That seems like a really annoying cup.
It sucks. The Spider-Man hits my mustache.
Yeah, it looks awful.
He's like dangling from a beam. It doesn't even.
Yeah, I don't like that.
They put it. You can take it off. It doesn't matter. It's detachable.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, see, you can take it off. Odie Matthews of the movies.
Sure, let's do it.
Okay.
Odie Matthews at the movies.
Odie.
Kevin.
Last week, I talked almost the whole podcast about Motor City. This week, out of courtesy and respect, I would like you to shut up so I can talk the whole podcast.
Okay. I'm done.
Spider-Man.
Please, Kevin.
No, I'm
Talk
just kidding.
about
Take the reins.
Spider-Man.
Take the reins.
Odie,
It's a brand new day.
Kevin, let me ask you this first, Kevin.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. Dude, this is what happens when you get 6 hours of sleep and record first thing in the morning on a Saturday. Stop it. That's going to give me ADHD. Every time you do that, I just want to watch it, and I don't want to say anything. And
I'm
it's
just
going to be
dangling
silent.
the little Spider-Man for you. It's just chill.
It's very
Little
distracting.
Tom Holland.
Garbage, bad, fun, good or great? What do you think?
This movie's great. This is certified great from me, for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because you think.
I think it's pretty bad.
Shut up.
You want to know why I think it's bad, Kevin?
Why is it bad, Odie?
Because there should have been more John Bernthal.
Oh.
We needed more of him.
You're so dumb. You're so dumb.
This movie's great.
This
Don't
movie
call me
didn't
dumb.
need more. This had just the right amount of Punisher.
No,
in
it
it.
needed more.
No,
it should have been Punisher, and then
John,
Spider-Man was the secondary
if
character.
you directed this movie, they would have renamed it.
Punisher.
It would have been The Punisher Helped Spider-Man. Like that would have been the name
Punisher's
of the
better.
movie. It would have been Spider-Man Punisher New Punisher. Like that would have been the
and the Hulk is there.
Yeah.
In small font.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Uh,
What do you think?
Okay, so-
Odie, garbage, bad, fun, good or great? It's bad.
it's bad. More Punisher, please. No, it's great.
Yeah, this
it's
movie's
a great
great.
movie.
I love how you try to think you're getting one over on me or the listener.
Oh, I know I'm not.
Like-
not in this one. This was a joke. I know, guys. I know.
You love this.
Okay, let me.
You
let me set
only
the
love
stage.
this.
Spider-Man is a Sony property because Marvel sold off the rights to like X-Men, Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, all of that to Sony.
Marvel
and
went
Fox
through some
back in the
tough
day.
times.
And that's why, for those that don't know, when Iron Man came out in 2008, he was more of a B or C list character at the time, and that's what they built the Avengers around, like Iron Man, Thor. Those weren't the popular ones. It was Fantastic Four, X-Men, Spider-Man, and so forth. So after we got 3 Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans, they tried to reboot with The Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2.
Andrew
and after
Garfield.
that failed, they brought, which I still love him as Spider-Man,
Yep.
but I think this movie confirmed that Tom Holland is
The
not only,
Spider-Man.
in my opinion, he's not only the best Spider-Man, but he is my favorite Spider-Man.
Okay.
Having recently rewatched the 3 Tobey Maguire ones, those movies don't age well, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And honestly, Tobey Maguire, I fucking hate his face. And that's also because he's dating like a 20-year-old right now, and he's like 50. So, not like hate his face. I just like, when I look at him, I get angry.
My
Hot take.
jaw dropped. I was like, what?
Yeah, I liked him in... Anyway, doesn't matter. Tom Holland was introduced as Spider-Man back in 2016 in Civil War.
Yep.
I'm going to say this here. When he and John Bernthal were filming a movie called Pilgrimage... Is that what it is? Pilgrimage?
Yeah,
Is that what's the
Pilgrimage.
one that they filmed together?
Yeah.
They
John Bernthal's
filmed
the
their
mute.
audition... They have filmed their audition tapes together, and John Bernthal has this beautiful story with Tom Holland where Tom Holland says, John Bernthal was the one that encouraged me to be more physical with the role and do flips and stuff, which really, honestly, we know that's what helped him get the
That's
role.
what
was
got
the
him
fact
the
that
role.
he was a gymnast.
Yeah.
So him and John Bernthal have been friends for a while. They were in the Odyssey together, and then they have scenes in that, and then obviously now they're on screen.
They're
together
in
Marvel.
2 of
So-
the biggest movies of this year, back to back this summer.
And
It's
we'll
insane.
talk about that.
And so is Zendaya. We're not forgetting about her. However, these guys are playing the titular characters of this movie, like two Marvel title characters. Also, Zendaya does a great job as MJ in this movie, but we'll get to her. But yeah, so like there's an amazing story of these two guys being friends and then being in multiple movies together,
and it's wonderful. And then you get Spider-Man Homecoming, which was a great introduction to Spider-Man. Then we've got Far From Home and No Way Home, all of which the biggest complaint, and I think those movies are all really fun. I think a couple of them are good.
Yeah.
I think No Way Home is really fun because you get to see all the other Spider-Man and all the other villains. But the biggest complaint, and I agree, is part of what makes Spider-Man so interesting is the fact that he is a street-level hero to some extent. And the new Marvel one, they gave him all the tech from Iron Man. And he never really got a chance to be on his own. And finally, that's what this movie accomplishes really well.
He's finally
is Spider-Man.
on his own, kinda.
He's using his own tech. He's creating his own stuff, and it's not as high tech as Tony Stark's, but it's still tech and stuff that works for Spider-Man and gives him a little bit of an advantage. But he's not as invincible as he was in the Iron Spider suit when in Endgame he's getting attacked by like 20 people and he just swings away. You know,
that stuff would have been ruined had there been more John Bernthal in this movie.
I don't think so. I think it would have been better. Brand New Day picks up 4 years later from No Way Home.
Not
which
4
was
years
in
later. It
2022.
picks up exactly at the end of No Way Home and then does a fucking montage.
Okay, so I'm sorry. We get 5 minutes of it being set in 2022, and then immediately it jumps 4 years over the course of a 30-second montage.
Yeah.
But I like that it's 4 years after 2022, 2026, 4 years in world.
Here we are.
I like when movies do that.
It's good.
This time around, the world does not remember who Peter Parker is,
Yes.
so nobody remembers that he's Spider-Man.
If you're keeping up with us, it's because Doctor Strange fucked everything up.
Well, no, Peter fucked
everything up, and then Doctor Strange had to fix it, and it fucked everything up.
So this one, he's taken out street-level heroes. All those people that were announced in the cast, like Tombstone and the other ones whose names I didn't bother learning, they're in one scene at the beginning where Spider-Man takes them down, except for Scorpion. He's in 2 scenes.
They're literally in the intro of this movie just to be like, oh, it's that guy. Hey, it's that guy.
Like that really famous scene from the trailer where Spider-Man's jumping at all the red ninjas. That's the scene. Like that's it.
Yeah, it's those guys.
That's all it is. He's cleaning up New York City. He's struggling because his friends don't remember him, and because of that, he's going through some emotional trauma, which is changing his hormone levels in his arachnid DNA, which we see in the trailer with the organic web shooters and so forth. But what I think is most well executed in this
is that as much of the plot as we can give away without spoiling things?
Except for what I'm about to say next, pretty much.
Like,
because the villain in this movie does something that I really enjoy, where you don't really know what the villain is up to, what they really want, who they really are, or if they're even the real villain.
I think the villain doesn't even know what they're up to in the beginning of this movie.
I think it's really well done because there's a lot of comic book movies, and this is something that I really enjoyed about this, is like, you know, Scorpion would be the main fight. Like, Vulture's the main villain. It's a physical person that you're going to go beat up, and they have powers or a suit or something.
And we see them doing a thing in the beginning. Like,
yeah, and they're, like, evil, and they're killing people. But, like, this doesn't have that. This breaks from the traditional, here's the big villain, they're going to lead up to a punch-up, and just kind of has Spider-Man going through an actual story that has fights in it, but it's not leading to like some ultimate showdown, you know? And I think that's really cool.
Yeah. Not in the way that it has been in the past.
It's not leading to an ultimate showdown where it's two people with the same powers fighting in a CGI train track with vibranium suits.
Yeah, people have forgotten who Spider-Man is, and now he's doing this grittier, more like, this is what they were saying. It's more street level. It's like it is.
Yeah, it really is.
It really is. He's talking to the commissioner, right? Like he's got the commissioner on the phone. Is that the
Detective
commissioner or the
Wolf.
chief?
She's a police chief, I think.
Yeah, I was like she's like the head of something.
She's something.
She's a chief or a commissioner. But like he's got her on the phone. And meanwhile, we've got MJ and Ned just off living their lives, like having
MIT,
a great time.
baby.
Yeah, at MIT. And the thing that I like about the time jump in the beginning that brings us 4 years ahead is that it shows us like, oh, cool, they went to college. Like we don't have to deal with any more.
Yeah.
I like that they wrote that off so we don't have any more school scenes. Like, we've had a lot of those in Spider-Man
It's done
movies.
through Instagram stories, and I like that.
Yeah, that was
like
good.
the Instagram story touch. I was like, that's perfect.
Yep.
Because
Also,
that's what you
nice
would do if you like somebody.
Also, nice
you would
plug
stalk
for
them.
Tom Holland's
phone
beer
flip?
company in the beginning.
Oh.
No, he goes into the.
I was thinking of his phone.
No, he goes into
Sony phone.
the little bodega and they got Bureau on the shelf. I'm like,
that's
I don't
his?
care Bureau at bodegas. Like,
That's his.
yeah, that's his. Yeah, that's his.
Oh, I didn't know
his
that.
non-alcoholic
The non-alcoholic?
beer company. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I'm gonna try that.
Yeah, overall, what are some of the things that you like really love about this film before we get into like deep
Okay.
spoilers? And
I have
unpack
so
this?
much.
Yeah.
For anybody that doesn't know, I'm a pretty big comic book fan. I didn't read a ton of comics, but I'm a big Spider-Man fan. Like Ghost Rider, Punisher, Spider-Man, Moon Knight.
Yep.
And probably for Marvel, Hawkeye.
Yep.
Round out my like top 5. Spider-Man, by the way, if you like Spider-Man and you want a really good comic, Spider-Man Life Story is a comic that takes every major event from Spider-Man's life and like shrinks the timeline between them.
Whoa.
So it does like the death of Gwen Stacy, it does the Clone Saga, it does the Venom Saga, like it does it all.
That's
but
cool.
it like takes Peter from the age of like 14 and they go through his entire life till he's like in his 50s.
Whoa.
So like it does every major event and it's an incredible story and the fact that they pulled it off is insane.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites, honestly. What I like about this is, for one, getting Daniel Destin Cretton to direct this. I think that's how you say his name.
Yes.
Daniel Destin
No, you
Cretton?
said it right.
Is it Cretton?
You said it.
Okay. He did Shang-Chi.
Yes.
And one of the things about the Shang-Chi movie that I really liked was the combat. Like, I think the action is really well done.
Yep.
And there is some fight scenes in this where the camera movements are breathtaking.
Oh, they're really good. Yeah. I'd agree
like
with that.
the
yeah,
way like
the swing.
Spider-Man will flip and the camera flips with him.
Yep.
The swings,
Yep.
my God, the swinging in this is incredible.
Yep.
And for the first time, you can tell that they actually used physical swinging with a little bit of CGI touch-up.
Yeah,
like,
and
it looks so good.
and even like the city swinging felt more like the game. Like, have you ever played the
Yeah.
Spider-Man games? I
Yeah.
was like, oh, this feels more like the
100.
actual Spider-Man games, like where you're like swinging and doing flips and stuff. I was like, oh, it was a lot more fun. Yeah.
I think that the action and the directing, I think getting him, and Marvel was like, we want him to do more Spider-Man movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, please let him do more. Like, he's great.
I can see him. Yeah. I could see him teaming up with maybe this team, and I mean even actors too. Maybe like 1 or 2 more times for sure. Because like
I think
Spider-Man's. I think we've been talking about this, and before we get into spoilers, like I think when we get to the universe reboot, we're gonna get Miles Morales. I think we're gonna get.
I was
Miles
gonna say
Morales.
what we need is after Secret Wars, bring back everybody in this and pass the torch to Miles.
You got to pass it.
The other thing I like, real quick before spoilers, because I have a couple things.
Oh
I can
yeah,
say.
go ahead.
I like the characterization of every hero in this. I like the way that Punisher is. I like the Spider-Man,
Yep.
Scorpion,
Yep.
Hulk, the villain. I think everybody for a year of comic book movies where I loved Supergirl. I don't know enough about Supergirl to know if that's an accurate characterization. I've only read a couple of her comics.
Yep.
But I feel like this is the Spider-Man that I've been waiting for. This movie nails the street-level Peter Parker. And what I think is great is and I said this like before, Tom Holland got to show that when he's talking to the detective, he's, bubbly and he's happy and he's like, I can get out there and I'm happy. But then when he's by himself, you see the despair and the pain of losing everybody close to him.
Yeah.
He lost, his aunt, his friends. Nobody remembers him. He's on his own.
Yeah.
And they tie in some stuff with actual spiders in real life that really make what he's going through with his arachnid DNA like a lot more interesting.
Yep. You got the lonely one up in the corner. You got the one emerging. Yeah.
Yeah. There's some really good showing and not telling in this too that I really, really loved.
Some nice metaphors. Visual metaphors. Yep.
Yeah. This is also probably one of my favorite Spider-Man suits next to the Sam Raimi ones. Because like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man 1 suit is still
so good.
One of the best with the raised and everything. But this one is really good. My only complaint is that they keep giving him high-tech goggles, and I like when he just has the regular mesh.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah.
But I do like that you can see his eyes
also
through the goggles.
There's so much suit in this movie. he
Yeah,
practically
so
is
much.
wearing the suit the whole movie.
And I like that.
I
Like,
do too. It was just
you know what it
really
also
funny.
kinda
Like
reminded me
multiple
of?
times in the movie, they're like, "You're still fucking wearing the suit, dude."
just the
Like,
mask.
yeah.
Yeah. It kind of reminded me of, and this is the last thing I'll say before spoilers, because I could say a lot in non-spoilers to
Yeah.
get people to go watch this or try to tell people to go watch this.
Yeah.
The other thing is, it kind of reminded me of Matt Reeves' The Batman, where
Okay.
we get a lot more of Spider-Man than we do Peter Parker,
Yeah.
and in that we get a lot more Batman than Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
And I like that because in the other Spider-Man movies, I feel like we get a lot of Peter, and in this, it's more of his Spider-Man side.
Yeah, it's a
I like
Peter-centric
that.
story with Spider-Man action. This is more a
Yeah.
Spider-Man-centric story with some Peter moments breaking it up.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like the emotional moments are all Peter, but then it's it's
I'd
just,
agree.
I got to be honest with
Yeah.
you, and I'm going to say this before spoilers.
Yep.
This, as of right now, is my favorite movie of the year.
It is not my favorite movie of the year, but I like that. That's good. I'm with you on the characterization. I think that was great. I think the soundtrack choices were phenomenal.
Oh.
The soundtrack really banger. Even though like we only got like 20 seconds of it, but even the 20 seconds of Bad Bunny that popped up in the
Yes,
I was like, oh,
dude,
sick.
I was like, oh,
Oh, I was like,
hell
oh,
yeah.
this is a
Yeah.
good one. And I
Ugh.
thought we were going to get a whole montage after that of like him going where he was going. I was like, oh, sick. I was pumped. The only thing I was bummed about with that was that it was cut short.
Yeah.
Because I am not super biased toward this actor, I think we got the perfect amount of Punisher in this movie. They told a
We
story
did.
for
We
the
truly did.
Punisher that is completely encapsulated. It shows a pivotal moment where he is going to make a choice to make a change in his own character, which I thought was huge. And they did it in a way that punctuated the storyline in this movie in a meaningful way that kept him both active but also kind of on the sideline a little bit. I thought that was really cool. Like the way that they balanced out every other character in this story. That's probably what I would say. The thing I like the most about this movie is the balancing that each character has.
Agreed.
They really handled that well. Like you were saying, this is an actual Spider-Man movie, and other things just happen to be in it. Let's get into spoilers.
I will say, on the Punisher
Yeah.
note, all jokes aside, this was the perfect story. I agree with you. This is the perfect story for
So
Punisher.
good.
His inclusion is perfect from his introduction to when he comes back later. But one of the
Yeah.
things that I love the most, and it's not going to be a surprise to anybody, the Punisher is my favorite part of this movie, hands down, no question.
Yeah, you love John Berthel.
Oh my God, do I ever? His characterization of Punisher,
Yeah.
people were worried that after One Last Kill and in Daredevil,
One Last
which
Kill
is
was
MA on
sick.
TV,
Yeah.
we're like, Punisher is bloody, he's gory, he's headshotting people. They were able to still give him that like gruff and like mean personality, and like it's misunderstood mean, right?
Yeah.
Like he's not trying to be mean, it's just how he is.
Yeah.
They nailed that, and there's even a great moment. I'll save that for spoilers.
'Kay.
Yes, I agree. Let's get into spoilers. I think everything else I want to say is in
Okay,
spoilers.
cool. Yeah. I
Can I
could
finish
see
this
where
thought
you
since
were.
we're in
I could
spoilers?
see where you were going with that. The only thing that I'll say before we get into spoilers, one last thing, is the only person who I think kind of gets like written off in a really like abrupt and kind of crappy way is the Hulk in this movie. That's the only one.
Say I have thoughts about
Yeah,
that.
that's the only thing where I think like he kind of like he literally falls off in the
He
story.
literally falls off.
Literally falls off. Let's get into spoilers. All right, Odie.
So I want to continue that thought of
Yeah.
Punisher. There's a moment where, and we'll go over more of like what's going on.
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
MJ is in danger, so Spider-Man brings her to the Punisher.
Yes.
And that's what really kicks off his involvement in the movie. And she's
Yeah.
looking at he lives in a boat in an abandoned like ship maintenance dock area in New York.
In
or
a
maybe outside.
booby-trapped ship warehouse.
I
That
love it.
looks like,
And
you know what
that's
it looks
great.
like? It looks like the place that Dr. Octopus usually sets up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
in
what it
Spider-Man
looked like.
2.
I was like, oh, shit, this is Doc Ock's territory.
There's some nods to all of the other Spider-Man
Yeah.
movies too, but I don't want to get into those. But MJ is like, "Is this your family?" And Punisher's like, "I got, my one and only rule is you don't touch anything, you don't look anything,
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, so 3 rules." And he's like, "I see why you like her." They
Yeah.
still made him have that wall up.
Yeah.
And what they do beautifully in this is at the end, they for the first time, really let this Punisher bring that wall down
Have
a little
fun.
bit because of his relationship with
They
Spider-Man.
let him have fun. Period.
Yeah.
Period. He actually has the first ever documented moment of Punisher joy.
Yeah.
For John
When he puts
Bernthal's
on the
version.
Spider-Man mask.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite parts with him is
Yeah.
Spider-Man's leaving the hospital. We'll get to why, but
Yeah.
then like Tom Holland needs a distraction.
Yeah.
So John Bernthal puts on the Spider-Man mask and stands in a window
good.
and waves at people.
So good.
Great. But what I love is that when they pull back, he's in his Punisher jumpsuit with just the Spider-Man mask.
Yeah, I was gonna say what's really great is they even included the audio from that, and you hear John Bernthal just grunting,
grunting,
which is like so quintessential. He's like the quintessential New Yorker. Period. In this, genuinely.
Okay, so let's go through
great
spoilers.
movie.
How do you want to?
Yeah,
how do you want to tackle it?
I'll how about this? I'm gonna start going through the story, and then you jump in and just like explain what's going on and get into all the nitty gritty because this is your territory. We talked about this last week. I love the artsy fartsy stuff. I love the big metaphors. I love when you're being psychological and you're messing with my brain. Odie is an expert on Marvel and IP and all this stuff. So we jump ahead 4 years.
Expert.
Spider-Man's real lonely, and from the isolation, he's starting to experience a little like the isolation itself is a form of trauma. And then he through this is like he's taken down all the street criminals, crime's at an all-time low, but what's going to happen? Oh, a big crime event to kick things off. What is it? It's a fucking tank. Like first off, action kicks off with like everything in this movie is actually a big threat to him. Like there's no like we don't start with the peons and then work our way up. No, it's a tank, and who's it being driven by? A nice old lady. It's just a nice old lady. She's in the tank, and he opens it up, and Spider-Man's like, "Hey, what's going on here?" And she's like, "You can see me," and then immediately jumps into another body. Where's the tank going? It's going to a place that is going to be important to the plot called damage control. What is damage control, Odie?
It's where all of his villains are that he got in the beginning.
And why are they there, Odie?
Because they're bad.
Yeah.
Except for Scorpion, who's getting changed over to a Supermax prison.
Yes, because they don't need Scorpion anymore.
It's funny that Scorpion literally is a pawn in this because Scorpion's a C villain. Like, everybody in this is a C villain. Tombstone, Scorpion, Blade Feet guy,
Shocker,
the Hand. Like,
they
I don't
even
know,
bring the Shocker back. They just
here.
have his gloves in it.
Shocker gloves.
Yep.
So like very much a C villain. Tank.
Yep.
You immediately find out that whoever's behind all this can basically jump into other people's bodies.
Yep. They can jump.
And I'm trying to think of how I want to say this without like jumping too far ahead. I think we just got to talk about the big villain.
It's Jean Grey. No, Jean Grey's not the big villain though. Like that's the reveal.
No,
later.
But I mean,
But
that's what That's what I want to like kind of get to. So,
but you also like if you know anything about movie structure and you know anything about storytelling, from the moment Spider-Man shows up at Damage Control, you're like, this is weird. No, I don't trust that guy. Like the guy, what's his name, Menziger or whatever. The guy who runs Damage Control. The moment he shows up and starts talking to Spider-Man, and he's like, "Yeah, we've reformed some of these criminals, and we're gonna take the bad stuff and use it for good." I'm like, "You're the bad guy." Immediately.
Tremel Tillman plays William Bill Metzger.
Metzger. Yep. See, I was close. Metzger, who runs Damage Control, is the moment you see him on screen, you're like, Spider-Man's like, yeah, I trust this guy. I'm like, I don't. Like immediately, I was like, nah, this guy. No, immediately. No. What? Listen, you're employing the Hand, and you're not using that for your own gain. Yeah, right. I don't believe you. I wish that I was Spider-Man's sidekick because I'd be like, I don't trust that guy, man. I don't know what you're like. I don't know who I would be. I'd be like, I don't know, Web Boy or whatever. Just
So the reveal of Jean Grey.
Yeah.
You find out, and I don't know much about her in the comics. I don't know much about the X-Men in the comics. I've only ever watched the movies. So she has a sister named Sarah Grey, who gets kidnapped by Damage Control.
Yes.
And that's what leads
literally
Jean
abducted,
like knocked out and kidnapped.
Like going to get ice cream and gets abducted. Like classic.
Metzger from Severance wants to scan the brain waves of telepaths when they use their powers to find a way to replicate that for people that aren't telepaths.
Yes. He wants to. Well, he says he wants to use it for good. But every time he talks about it, he's like, this is an immense power. It could be used for really, really great things or really bad things. And I'm like, I think you're going to do really bad things, dude. Like, every time he talks, I'm like, I don't like this. Like, I know that they were, like, portraying him as, like, the guy who's helping, right? And then the big reveal is he's a bad guy. Literally from the moment he walked on screen, I'm like, that's a bad guy. Like,
well, can I tell you something, Kevin, about this? Because I don't think he's the bad guy.
Oh, okay.
And let me explain.
Go ahead.
I think he is the kind of character that I really enjoy in stories like this because I think he truly believes that what he's doing is the right thing, that creating this technology and using the hand and stuff is the right thing, but he's so misguided on his pursuit for, like, the good. Because I think there's going to be a reveal with his character later on that, like, something happened.
Yeah.
Or even there's a moment where he lies about how somebody close to him recently died.
Yeah.
I think that could even be true because of people like Spider-Man and stuff.
And so you're talking about Thanos because he truly believes that he's doing the right thing.
Yeah,
he's the bad guy. He's the bad.
But this is a smaller scale because I think Metzger, like, the thing that he does that's bad is he
murders Sarah Gray.
Kills Jean Grey's sister through tests.
Yeah, so he's a murderer.
And he's willing to do the same for Jean. Yeah. No, I'm not saying he's not a bad guy. I'm not saying that.
I know.
I'm saying that he's one of the bad guys that, yes, he is bad, but it's not because I think he's got, like, I don't think he wants to kill people. I don't think he's going out of his way to do it.
Yeah.
Like, Thanos, I think, and they even mention it in this movie, like, why didn't he just use the gauntlet to create more resources? And it's like, because he wanted to kill people.
They actually handle, what's funny is the Thanos, I'm glad you brought that up. The Thanos question is a funny one because they handle it the way that it should be handled. They don't even answer it. They're like, why didn't he just use the gauntlet to make more food? And it's like,
Hulk smash?
Hulk smash, dude, because Hulk smash, because we have to fight. It's a Marvel. Basically, the subtext of that answer when the guy goes Hulk smash is like, because this is a fucking Marvel movie, dude. Shut up. Like,
and I think, like, and that's where I'm like, Thanos was genuinely just, like, a bad guy, but I think Metzger, like, I don't think he's not going out of his way to try to kill people. He is doing that trope where he creates weapons to fight Spider-Man. He creates, things to deter other superhuman abilities or, like, other superheroes, whether it's their organic abilities or, like, abilities that they create in a lab, right?
He's the more grounded version of paranoid Tony Stark from Civil War.
And that's kind of it.
Yeah.
Like, and again, he is the bad guy. He is the villain. I'm not saying that, but I think what makes him compelling is he's not the bad guy in the sense of, like, halfway through the movie he's like, we got to get Spider-Man. Go after. No,
it's not like and I've been evil the whole time. It's like, no, this is my mission.
He's on the same path the entire time. Like, when he gets Jean Grey in custody, he's on the same path. Like, to him, this is what he's supposed to be doing. And I found that very interesting that there's not a moment where, because, like, there is a moment where Spider-Man fights the hand trying to get into damage control, but it's not because of him. It's because Jean Grey's controlling him. And I thought that was just a really interesting way.
Yeah, so you've touched on, here's the big element of this film that, like, kind of lays out who you're trying to perceive as the, like, or not who you're trying to, but, like, who is being perceived or portrayed as the villain the entire time. You've got Jean Grey, who's trying to break into damage control to find VMAX. Like, she's looking for VMAX, sister. Right? That's the last thing her sister said or showed to her right before she, like, went silent, right? She reached out psychically, seemingly out of the range that they've ever experienced before, because apparently, like, up until that point, it was only, like, 33 feet or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Why is it 33 feet? Hulk smash. But, like, so you've got her, and she's like, hey, any means necessary. It doesn't matter what I have to do. I'm breaking into damage control. I'm finding my sister. On the opposite end of that, so you have two people on, like, two sides of the same coin. You've got Metzger, who's going, any means necessary, doesn't matter what we have to do. We need to figure out how to harness powers to protect humanity, right? So you've got these two people who they're looking to either protect or find something, right? And they're both like, any means necessary, which could be dangerous, right? So, like, they're both a danger to other people, just in a way that to them doesn't seem like anything that's negotiable, you know? And so that's the really cool part, because you spend the first half of the movie thinking, or rather I would say like the first 2/3 of the movie thinking Jean Grey, who you eventually get the reveal is Jean Grey, is the villain. But then when you get the reveal of like who's actually made her behave this way, it's this other guy who's just doing the same thing for different reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think like I said, I think that the whole villain thing, the bad guy thing is really well done. But what I also think is really well done, and this proves Marvel, one thing I will say about Marvel is they nail their casting.
Yeah.
And Sadie Sink from
Phenomenal.
Stranger Things fame and Fear Street fame is, I was skeptical, and I even, before I left for the movie, I was like, man, part of me was like, man, I kind of hope she's not Jean Grey. I was like, maybe it'd be nice if she seems a little young for Jean Grey. But then I saw her, because like, okay, and here's the thing, and this is a me thing.
Okay.
All the X-Men movies that came before, everybody's so much fucking older. You know, like everybody's in their 30s.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like the last Jean Grey was like in her 30s. And then
Yeah.
you had the girl from Game of Thrones that was Jean Grey, and she was just
Sophie
bad.
Turner.
Yeah, I don't think she's a good actress, and she was bad in that. But I've never seen Game of Thrones, so I can't speak to that. But I think she's bad in those X-Men
She's good in
movies.
Game of Thrones, yeah.
Most of the people are
the
bad in
thing
those new
was
X-Men movies.
She played the same. She played Jean Grey the same way she played Sansa Stark in Game of Thrones. Anyway, keep going.
So I think that Sadie Sink as Jean Grey is incredible for so many reasons.
I'd agree.
And just, if you allow me to do a little bit of hating for a minute,
Yeah,
a
go
little
ahead.
bit of shit talking.
Go ahead.
Stranger Things at one point, was the largest phenomenon ever, but then the season 5 came out, and it feels like, and I could be wrong, it feels like a lot of people dropped off. A lot of people weren't happy or satisfied with the way it wrapped up.
I didn't even watch it.
And I think I didn't either.
Yeah.
I think some people are hating just to hate, and I think other people, genuinely were like, hey, I have issues with this, this, and this.
Yeah.
What's funny about that is out of the entire cast of Stranger Things, a cast that should have been, blown up into mega stardom, really, you've got Joseph Quinn, who was in one season, and he got Human Torch.
Yep.
And then Sadie Sink got Jean Grey, whereas, like, Millie Bobby Brown has done nothing but Netflix movies.
Yep.
Nothing but Netflix movies. Finn Wolfhard fell off the map after Ghostbusters.
He plays in a band.
And
he's
the
got
other...
he's got a band.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, they're pretty good. He also was in it.
We'll see. But I feel like out of all the Stranger Things people,
keep
it's
going.
really nice to see Sadie Sink land this role, because she didn't even have to audition. Kevin Feige was like, we want you to be Jean Grey.
Yep.
And there's an interview where Tom Holland's like, you didn't even have to audition? Like, he was very confused by it.
Yeah.
And I think that's really great. And, like, it just showcases the talent that she has. And I've seen the
She's
comparison where, like, people are like, same thing with Indy Neveretti, right? Like, she, just blew up, and now she might be an X-Men too, potentially.
That would
She
be
wants to play Mystique, apparently.
That would be sick.
Sadie Sink as Jean Grey makes
Amazing.
me so hyped for X-Men.
Yeah,
Because
she
they
did a good
set
job.
this Jean Grey up so well for the Dark Phoenix storyline way down, because we need to wait to do the Phoenix storyline. But, like, she's already got some of that pain with the loss of her sister. Great.
Let me stop you there, because I had the same thought, and I actually stopped myself on the Dark Phoenix thing, because everybody immediately jumps to Dark Phoenix. Here's why starting with Jean Grey is actually the best way to introduce the new X-Men. Very often in cinematic universes, and by very often I mean all 2 times we've gotten it, Jean Grey starts out as like, oh, you're not that powerful, you're just Jean Grey, right? And then she's like, actually, I'm the most powerful of all of you later. This movie shows us just how crazy her powers are before we even get the X-Men. It's
Out
like,
the
oh
gate.
yeah, shit. And so like when we get the X-Men, it's not going to be like, look at Wolverine, he heals and he's got claws. It's going to be like, oh yeah, remember that? Remember when she like literally controlled everybody within a kilometer? Yeah, she's crazy. Like, so this was a good starting point for that. I was like, oh, I'm glad we got this now, because then we're not going into X-Men, and it shows me that they know how to handle the character. They're not going to have her in X-Men just being like, and Cyclops and Wolverine. She's going to be going, yeah, no, I can take over everybody. I feel like I will jump into your fucking mind right now.
Well, and that's why I also think this sets up, because one of the biggest things for Jean Grey in the comics is Professor X.
Yes.
Also, like, he relates to her because they have
the same
similar
powers.
power sets. And this event and at the end, she's on a bus driving into the woods where it looks like that's the kind of location the X-Mansion would be.
Yep, upstate New
And
York.
so I think this
That's where everybody is in fucking Marvel universe.
That's where the Avengers HQ was in Avengers
facility
2.
and the fucking Xavier School. What's up, upstate New
They're
York
neighbors.
guys? We got a lot of cool shit going on.
There's a dispensary down the street. I think this sets up a really good relationship for her to immediately have with Professor X.
Yeah.
And I think depending on how they bring Cyclops in, since they're usually love interests, and then it becomes a love triangle with Wolverine.
Yeah.
I think that they just really started off on the best foot forward. But with that being said, allow me to say the one thing that I think could have either been done differently or potentially even done a little bit better in this.
Okay.
The Hulk.
Oh, yeah,
Let me
yeah.
explain.
No, agree.
I think this is a very strong movie start to finish. This criticism or critique or whatever you want to call it that I'm about to have does not change the fact that this movie is still really fucking
It's
great
really
in my
good.
opinion. But I think that the weakest part is the way that the Hulk is put into the story.
His entire arc
And
in this, yeah, I'd agree.
it basically is Peter Parker is trying to suppress this arachnid DNA because he has organic web shooters. His sensories are overloaded. He's stronger. He can't control it.
Mhm.
And he's trying to suppress that because he just wants to be like Peter Parker.
Yep.
Which has a huge payoff in the end. I think that's really well done. But
I'd agree.
it all centers around he tracks down Bruce Banner, who's now just teaching at school, and he wears this big-ass inhibitor on him that suppresses the Hulk. And so Peter Parker's like, hey, I want to learn how to do that so I can suppress my own genes.
Yeah.
And then the Hulk basically just comes back later because Jean Grey goes, hey, I'm going to take you over and have you turn into the Hulk. So for a little bit in the damage control facility, the Hulk can smash Spider-Man around. We can get one of the best shots of the movie where Spider-Man is pulling the Punisher with a web as the Punisher is shooting at the Hulk, jumping over him.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Great shot.
I was a little girl. Oh my God, I was loving
Great
that.
shot.
I could watch that like 10 times on repeat because then the Punisher's just screaming. Oh my God, it's so
Yep.
good. But that's it. Like we finally
Yeah.
get the old Hulk back where he becomes like full Hulk, not Bruce Banner, like back from like 2008 where he's big and stuff. But like he just fights Spider-Man for a minute, falls off a building, and then gets sent off to a psych ward. And I feel
Yep,
like
that's it.
you
He
could have done that a
He
little
quote
differently.
unquote dies off screen. You know what I mean? Like he
Kinda.
gets sidelined
Like-
off screen. And the thing that like makes me mad about this is the Hulk literally just keeps doing the same thing in Marvel. Like he's used as a prop. Like it's like
Yeah.
he shows up and it's Bruce Banner's like, oh, you don't want to. I
don't
don't want
want
to
that
lose
guy."
control. You don't want that guy. And then we get that guy, and we're like, no, actually, we as the audience do want that guy. And then like he goes off to a psych ward. So in the next whatever iteration we get, it's gonna be him going, I don't really know, man. I don't want to go out. I could hurt people. And it's like, yeah, we fucking know, dude. Like,
But the other thing is too is they made the Hulk weak in this. There's no way that chunks of a building would drag him down like that.
oh yeah, 100%.
He's so much stronger than that.
Yeah.
And what bothers me about the Hulk inclusion in this is
well,
is
that
mostly
was
the fact,
was Bruce Banner recognizing Spider-Man and letting go. Like, so
Well,
there's a
even
little
before
bit of
that.
that battle going on because you can see it in his face before he falls. I agree with you. It was
but he shouldn't be that weak. Is the thing.
Well, it's not that he's that weak. It's that he, as Bruce Banner, let go. Period.
Well, I'm saying before that, like before he recognizes it,
Oh,
he's
yeah,
struggling
yeah.
to keep it up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that shouldn't be the
well,
case.
maybe that
like,
internal
the-
battle's going on the whole time. You don't know.
And possibly,
Yeah.
but I just feel like Marvel hasn't figured out how to use the Hulk. They wasted him in Infinity and Endgame because he should have been able to take on Thanos for real. But
Yeah.
like they didn't get a rematch. I think
whatever.
I think they just wasted him in a lot of ways. Like they haven't figured out what to do with him since Thor Ragnarok. Like that's
Yeah.
one of the best inclusions of the Hulk. And like
I'd agree.
I don't think his inclusion in this is necessarily bad. I think it creates some really fun moments where like Peter Parker and the Punisher are like talking. And the Punisher's like, "You got this is a high level threat. So you go find the source. I'm going to contain it." He's like, "Are you just trying to get out of fighting the Hulk?" And he's like, Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I'm a regular dude with a bulletproof vest. I'm not fighting that thing.
My favorite moment in that entire fight scene is when he just walks by and Sadie Sink's controlling him, and he's got like the bombs in his hand. He just goes, "Good luck with that, Peter."
Good luck with that.
Like that was
Yeah,
that
like-
was my favorite moment of the entire movie. Actually, it was when Peter's fighting the Hulk, and he's like, "Good luck." Oh,
I just think that like the Hulk. I don't think his inclusion is necessarily bad. I think it works.
it was
'cause it's
necessary for
all
the plot.
But I just think that I just think there's something about it that, like, and I don't know exactly what, but there's something about it that I'm like, it could have been, like, maybe it's the fact that they just sent him off to a psych ward.
I think
and we don't
that's
see him again for the rest of the movie.
I think that's
I
the
think that's
big
it.
thing is, like, we don't get a definitive moment where the Hulk gets defeated, and that just feels like there's a lack of payoff for him becoming the Hulk. We don't get a moment where Bruce Banner is like, he like really gets control of the guy and freaks out and runs off into the distance, because we could have gotten that. We could have gotten like Mark Ruffalo being like, oh fuck, what the fuck did I do? What is this? You know, like, and then like piecing out. Instead, we just get like the report that he was taken away, and it's like, all right, come on.
Yeah, and I just feel like
that's the only part that like of it, because like he developed the prototype that it inspires Spider-Man to suppress his own genes, right? Like, he helped him. Like, he shows up at a critical moment. Sadie Sink knows, Jean Grey knows to take control of him to help her get into places, right? And then we get the punch-up, which is cool. And then, but like, yeah, there's no payoff.
Yeah, and that's really what it was. But otherwise, I think the ending is worth kind of talking about, because, like, there's a lot of good stuff with the MJ and Ned. Like, Peter's trying to figure it out. I guess one moment that's worth highlighting is when Jean Grey takes over MJ and pretends like she remembers Peter. Yeah. I was like, that's a really good way to emotionally damage Peter. And that's the other thing.
No, that was great.
There's a lot of moments where Peter does get fucked up, like, physically, but there's a lot where he also gets fucked up emotionally. Mm-hmm. And again, I like to see both sides of that in a superhero movie, because there's more than just getting punched in the face, right? And, like, I think they handled the whole MJ and Ned forgetting him thing really well. It's not like at the end of this movie, it's all back to normal. Like, they very much were like, they don't remember him, and if he wants a friendship, he has to start over. Yeah. And I really appreciate that, because I thought for a moment, genuinely for a moment, when Jean Grey's in MJ's body, I was like, are they really just doing, like, a fucking she remembers?
Oh, I knew it was Jean Grey. I was like, oh,
I didn't
as
first.
soon as she wasn't like really talking, I was like, oh, Jean Grey got there first. I was like, like immediate, and that's the thing. Like, I was able to predict a lot of the beats of this story as I was watching it. Just maybe it's just years and years of reading comic books or whatever and watching these movies. But I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, I know what's coming up.
So I think the MJ and Ned stuff is handled really well. Yeah. I think it's really funny that they made a point to show that MJ has a boyfriend in one scene. The scene in the trailer.
Well, she doesn't even really like him that much. And she's withholding.
I think that works. And I think that's good too, because it's like she's not like super happy in a relationship, but it doesn't mean she's running to Peter Parker. Yeah, you know, and there's not a moment where she runs to him in this. No, I actually like that the last scene is Ned and Peter rekindling their friendship to a point where it almost seems like Ned remembers, and that is interesting because Ned Leeds in the comics is the Hobgoblin. Yeah, in sometimes.
No, Ned.
So he could become a villain.
Ned does remember him at the end of the movie, because
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
he says Peter. Yeah.
Well, also, MJ said that Spider-Man's name was Peter.
And then he's like, wait, his name's Peter. But then they do the handshake, and you can see Ned, like, slowly clicking as they're doing it, and kind of like, but at the same time going, why am I doing this? Why do I know this? Yeah. And then he looks up and says, Peter. And it's like, oh, cool, magic handshake. Yeah.
Magic handshake.
A lot of good things in this movie. Now that I'm thinking about it, I wish we would have gone through this more linearly and described the things that we like. Because now I'm like, trying to grab from different parts of the movie. I go, what did I like here?
For me, the last thing is the ending, because I just think that I don't, even though we're in spoilers, like, there's just not much that I want to like say, because I think that every beat and every moment in this just really had me hooked.
Okay.
And I think a lot of it is just really well done. In the ending, Jean Grey gets kidnapped because Peter puts the inhibitor on her, and she gets taken by damage control, and then they start torturing her with tests. And
they do the thing that they did to her sister, and then she's looking up and she sees Vent Max, but it says VMAX, and that's the last thing that she saw from her sister.
Can I tell you what I thought VMAX was going to be?
Yeah, go ahead.
And I convinced myself almost up until that moment.
Go ahead.
I was like, she was trying to say X-Men.
That's weird. But, okay.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, maybe.
Because, like, a V, if you add another V, it's an X, and then
you know what's funny?
And then the X could be an N.
I was like, what's VMAX? And then I was like, that's so lame. Why would they call it VMAX? What the fuck is V? And then when she looked up and saw it, I'm like, okay, that's actually a good payoff. Like,
I was like, that's way better than what I thought.
Yeah.
So she's being tortured. And then she finally like unlocks all of her powers.
Yeah.
She sends out a giant wave that freezes everybody, and except for Spider-Man. We get a really good action bit where he fights the hand.
Yep.
He takes off his inhibitor and finally like unleashes his whole power. And I love the moment when Jean Grey's like, you can't be Spider-Man and Peter Parker. You've got to pick one. Which one are you? And he's like, I'm both.
Yeah.
Like, I'm both. And that works. I think that's good.
It's good.
But I loved, and this is probably one of the things that I think really solidified how much I love this movie. You get the moment teased throughout where Peter's sitting on his bed in Aunt May's old apartment that we see from the first 3 movies.
Yep.
And she's having a conversation with him, but we're only getting a piece of it. And there's a piece missing. You know there's more to it, but you're not sure what it is.
Yeah.
And Jean finally gets into Spider-Man's head because he's like, oh, go ahead and look. Like, I know what I'm talking about, because he's trying to convince her not to kill Metzger.
Yep.
And that just because you've lost somebody doesn't mean you have to do all of this alone. And we get this incredible speech from Aunt May that, like, is really moving and just really good. And such an Aunt thing to say to, like, Peter Parker, who's probably, like, 18, 17, 16 in that scene. Like, he's still a teenager, for sure. And because he's supposed to be, like, 23 in this.
Yeah.
And it's what finally, like, helps Jean Grey. And I love the moment when Peter sits next to her and he's like, you've got me. But then what happens next, I think, just really, like, tied a nice bow on it, because the Punisher, during all of this, has told Peter, I'm going to do this my way. And his way is putting a bullet through Jean Grey's head.
Yeah.
And
he says that in the beginning, and that's the real lesson that he's learning. But to go back to the Aunt May scene, what's cool about that scene is first we get when she first gets pushed out of his head, it's by that memory. She's going in, and the memory literally pushes her out. She's like, wait, what the fuck? And that's him going, no, you're not in this. And then later we get him sitting with Aunt May, and we get a little bit of the conversation because he's actually remembering it. Then we go deeper into his head, and we get the full conversation with him and Aunt May, but partway through that conversation, all of a sudden Aunt May is talking to Jean Grey and not Peter Parker anymore. And what that shows is that those words can be transposed and used meaningfully for other people. And then the best part of the visual storytelling with this, Peter Parker is in the room watching the conversation, like watching a memory, with her having this conversation with Aunt May instead. So it's Aunt May and Jean. And then he sits down where Aunt May was, showing you that he is about to impart the same meaningful lesson that changed his trajectory and who he was on her.
And it sets up the Miles Morales thing perfectly, because that's what he does. He mentors. Yeah, you're totally right. I didn't even think about explaining that. It's just such a good scene.
I was like, you're missing the big thing
you're
here.
Right. That's what you're here for. You're here to fill in the gaps.
Yes.
No, that scene is great.
Yeah.
And, like, I think they really, and that's what, again, like, the characterization, like, I think they really nailed that side of Peter Parker. And the Punisher's whole mission, he's outside the field. He gets on a roof. He pulls out a giant sniper rifle. You know he's going to take a shot at Jean Grey. Yep. You know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know exactly what's going to happen.
Yep.
And as he fires the bullet in the memory, Spider-Man's spidey senses goes off. He takes the bullet for her.
Yep. Before we get too far, here's the visual storytelling here. Punisher has told us. He's like, I just want to shoot shit. He's like, that's how I'm going to stop things. I'm going to kill them, because that stops it once and for all. That's how I know to end bad things that are happening.
You put it down.
However, and the real lesson that he learns is he's so far away that he doesn't have all the information. And so he's just acting on that instinct, that killer instinct that he has, rather than putting things together. And when he does that, because of the misinformation he has, he ends up hurting his friend dearly. And so then in the hospital scene, you have the Punisher for the first time ever going, well, fuck, I can't just shoot everybody.
Yeah, and you also, but and what makes that even better is there's a moment early on where Punisher monologues at Peter about how, like, being alone, you think it's a choice. Like, you don't think if I had 1 second with the people that I love that I wouldn't take that 1 second. Like, this is not a lifestyle choice. Like, that whole speech that he gives, I think, really highlights this ending.
Yeah.
Because I like when Peter's in the hospital bed. The Punisher doesn't know what he looks like, but now he finally does. He's like, you're exactly what I pictured.
Yep.
And Jean Grey was keeping Peter alive by being in, like, by controlling him and having him breathe, so he stayed awake.
From a park bench.
Which I loved. I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
And you get this moment where the Punisher's like, I've seen a lot of stuff in my day, but what you did was real bravery.
Yeah.
Like, and I just think that again, like, I think people see the Punisher because this is what we've seen as this, like, especially this version where he's sad about his family and he's angry and he wants to shoot stuff. But there is that softer side of Punisher that people forget. There is that side of Punisher that was a dad.
Yeah.
There is the Frank Castle side that had kids, that was a husband.
Yep.
So there is compassion, there is empathy, there is sympathy in
Yep.
there. It doesn't come out very often, but when it does, it's more impactful because it's something you don't see as much.
Yeah.
And I think that it's really well done that it's we've seen this Punisher a lot, and we've got a couple of those moments with like Karen Page and with Matt Murdock, but this is the first time where I really saw that Punisher be vulnerable, and it's highlighted really well when Peter's like, "Are you crying?"
Yeah,
and he's like,
"No,"
and it's not like but he's like laughs about it.
Yeah,
and like you can tell like it's a friendship, and
100%.
I just thought that was really good. Like,
yeah, no, it's good because it includes him in the resolution. It shows that everybody has grown, has learned something, has progressed, and is moving on as a better version of themselves at the end of this. Apart from maybe Metzger.
And we should also say,
Yeah.
With how much we've highlighted how much we like this movie.
Yeah.
I believe, and I just want to make sure I get this completely right. Yes. Brand New Day dethroned Avengers Endgame for the largest one-day opening ever.
Really?
I believe it made a grand total of like $70 million on Friday night or something.
Wow. So this movie
find
is a movement.
It's
really
gonna
good.
break $1 billion pretty easily.
Pretty quickly.
Here it is. Here we go. Spider-Man Brand New Day delivers record $72 million in previews, besting Avengers Endgame.
Wow.
Avengers Endgame only got $60 million.
So it hasn't dethroned Infinity War, but it dethroned Endgame.
I believe Infinity War was less than Endgame.
Really? That's crazy.
Let me
Well,
see.
that's good. I like that. That's a good sign. One other thing that I think is like really useful to mention is there's a lot of stuff in this movie that was a lot of fun. I like the coordination of the scenes where Jean Grey is hopping and you see people just kind of turn into a wacky inflatable arm flailing tube man for a second. They're like, like their body just like jerks. You see her like going down a street through people and she's doing all the little jumps and they're like, blah, blah, blah. And then like she ends up in like the Asian lady with like jogging pants on, leggings, and like is like, "Hi, Spider-Man." Like, just really, like, they had a lot of fun doing those scenes where she's jumping from one person to the next.
It's pretty cool how they acted it, too.
Yeah, I like how they showed that. She's always, like, a little bit ahead of Spider-Man when she's doing it, you know? It was really interesting and fun to see that power. And what was good about that being the power in the beginning of the film is that's what helped hide the fact that it was Jean Grey. Because if there was other stuff happening, like telekinesis, things like her actually doing other things with her mind, like you would be like, "Oh, it's Jean Grey." But because it's just someone hopping, I'm like, I literally in my mind I was like, is this Mysterio? Like, is there, like, I'm like, what is this? Like, what villain in Spider-Man is hopping? And then, like, when they introduced Metzger, I was like, oh, no, you're the bad guy. Whoever's doing this is a good guy. And I started piecing it together. And then as soon as I even saw, like, Sadie Sink, I was like, oh, Jean Grey's here. And, like,
oh, yeah. As soon as I saw her, there was a moment or part of me that was like, maybe she will be a real villain. Maybe she's playing somebody else. One of my theories, and I think I feel silly about this now, but one of my theories was I think that they were going to make her – I thought for a second they were going to make her Gwen Stacy maybe and, like, flip it because Gwen Stacy's usually blonde and MJ's usually a redhead, but Zendaya's MJ. I'm so glad they did what they did.
Well, there was a funny
obviously.
moment where there's a blonde girl getting into the elevator, and she goes, "Hey, same building," and he goes, "Yeah, whatever." And, like, I was just like –
he was like, "We live on the same floor," and he's like, "I'm moving to the attic."
I was like, "Oh, oh, no, not Gwen Stacy. Never mind." Or maybe it is, and, like, we're just not getting that story.
There was also
– that was good.
Man. There was something that we saw in this that I was like, oh, there's a girl on the bus at one point briefly that has hair that looks like Rogue's.
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
I thought that was interesting.
And then I wanted to piggyback off that because what's cool about this, so this movie sets up for the X-Men in another way too, in that Hulk is suppressing the gamma-radiated genes that are being expressed in his body with a controller, right? And Peter Parker's like, well, I want to suppress my spider genes. And he's like, yeah, you could do that. And he's like, well, couldn't you foreseeably do that for everybody and anybody? And he goes, yeah, but how do you know what parts are good and what parts are bad? And that is one of the biggest messages of the entire X-Men franchise is like, yeah, you might be a mutant, you might be different, but that could be a good thing that's being expressed. And even Aunt May says like, hey, maybe there's some good that you're like. There's a lot of emphasis on the main storyline theme and thread of X-Men in this, but it's portrayed through Spider-Man and Hulk, and it even shows like, hey, Spider-Man has mutated DNA. He's kind of an X-Men, you know, like he's
that's a
nice
nice
mutant,
introduction,
you know.
Well, and that's a good point because what I liked about this was there was no big moment where they're like, mutant genes are running rampant. It's literally Jean and Sarah, and they're like, why did our mother not love us? Because we changed,
and Spider-Man
right?
is mutating.
And I think that was mwah,
so
perfect.
that's like a really nice there was a really subtle way, like I said, every beat of this movie I was like, oh, I know what's going on, oh, I know what we're setting up, oh, but I at no point did I feel bored by it, at no point did I think they were hitting the nail on the head. Like, it was very good. The whole movie's well done.
Yeah, I think this was a
banger.
like I said to you, and I think I stand by this, I think this is my favorite Spider-Man movie.
Favorite ever period?
Oh, I know it's not going to be any of the Amazing Spider-Mans, and I mean Spider-Man 2 is really good, but I don't know. This one really scratched an itch.
This is my favorite live-action Spider-Man movie. My favorite Spider-Man movie is Into the Spider-Verse. Period.
Oh, sorry, I was talking live action.
Yeah,
Into the Spider-Verse
is the best Spider-Man movie
is
ever.
Hands down the best Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, this is just the best live-action Spider-Man movie.
This is my favorite live-action Spider-Man
What
movie.
order do you put the Tom Holland ones in? Because they clearly are the superior Spider-Man franchise, right? But, like, what order do you put these movies in? Because I would say this one's number 1. I agree with you. What's your 2, 3, and 4?
Yeah. What's your 2 and 3 and 4? I'm curious.
My 2, 3, and 4 are going to be No Way Home. Actually, you know what? It just goes back in order. Like, I think this one's the best, and then working back. Like, it's almost like a reverse scale, right? Like, this is the best.
4, 3, 2, 1.
No Way. Yeah, 4, 3, 2, 1 in that order. I think they've genuinely gotten better as we've gone along.
I think for me it would be 4, 3, 1, 2.
Okay. Which is almost I think 2 and 3 are the two that, like, 2 and 3 are the two for me that I could flip flop, right? Because, like, Homecoming didn't really, like...
I think Homecoming is better than 2.
Really?
I think the Vulture is more compelling. I think the introduction of Spider-Man. I think... I think 1 is...
The Prowler,
Mysterio's
maybe,
cool.
being in it?
The Shocker's in that one.
I guess Childish Gambino being in that's pretty sick.
Well, because the only thing about the second one, and I think that they're...
You know what? I'm with you. I'm with you. 4, 3, 1, 2. You convinced me.
I think 1 and 2 are pretty close, but 2... There's too much. Remember this? Remember this? Remember this?
You know
and
what?
Like Mysterio being connected to Tony Stark.
Yeah.
My thing is, like, the first 2 movies are too connected to Tony Stark for my taste.
Okay. You know what? You convinced me. 4, 3, 1, 2. That's the order. Those are the best Tom Holland and live action Spider-Man movies. The rest are good. I mean, everyone's gonna have their favorite. There's all these different iterations. Who do you think will be the villain in the next Spider-Man movie? What do you think will be the actual, like, what we're going after? Or do you think that it's going to be that he's a quintessential part of a different movie later?
I think we're either going to get the Venom symbiote.
Yep.
I think we could get a Mr. Negative, a Mr. Sinister. I think Mr. Sinister would be really good.
I would love Mr. Sinister. I think that would be sick.
I think you turn Metzger into Mr. Sinister.
Yep. I would love to see Mr. Sinister show up for sure. Cool.
Because you can't do Green Goblin, Harry Osborn, or Norman Osborn because we got that in No Way Home.
Yeah.
You can't do Doc Ock. You can't do Sandman.
Right.
You can't do any of the villains that were in the third one.
Hear me out.
In my opinion.
Hear me out. Gwenom. We get Gwenom. Maybe?
No.
No. Okay. Never mind. Fine.
Yeah. I think Venom or Mr. Sinister is the way to go.
Okay. Cool. What about a new Doc Ock? How about a new Dr. Octopus?
I would
How about
love
that
to
shit?
see new Doc Ock.
Because we're
or
all
new
in the
Green
science
Goblin.
realm all the time with this Spider-Man.
Or new Electro. But I think because of No Way Home bringing in the other versions, I don't think you can. Because here's what happens. You bring in Doc Ock, and as soon as Peter meets somebody named Dr. Octavius, he's going to be like, oh, okay.
He's going to be like, this guy. I
Yeah.
genuinely think this version of Spider-Man is going to be passing the torch in the next like 5 to 10 years, and I do think that he will be a bigger part of an X-Men storyline because of the relationship between the mutating genes. I do think he will pop up in an X-Men movie.
And what do you think of the post-credits scene as we round this out?
Yeah, Battle World. That's Battle World. That's where Battle World is.
It's just
galaxy.
Spider-Man in space.
Yeah, he's in space.
Yes.
He's in Battle World. That's where he is.
But here's the thing,
or here's what's happening. That is the beginnings of that other universe coming this way and invading this one, and there's a Spider-Man in that universe.
Because that's my next question is, which Spider-Man is it?
Exactly. Well, that's what I was thinking. I was like, oh, because we're gonna get we get Doomsday, and Doomsday we know that there's gonna be a melding of universes. So I think that's gonna be Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, I think you have a better chance of getting Andrew Garfield over Tobey Maguire.
I agree.
So,
what's your jam?
Yeah, I think that's all my thoughts on Spider-Man.
Yeah, I don't have any more.
Yeah.
What's your jam this week?
My jam is I want to highlight again, Spider-Man Life Story is an incredible comic. I'm probably going to reread it now.
Cool.
Because I think it's really, really good.
Yep.
So definitely check that out. You can get it on Amazon as like one edition. I think it's like $20.
Hell yeah.
And my other jam is an artist who released a song that
I'm
I need
scrolling
to
for it
find.
right now.
I'm
Gotta
not
find
padding.
the artist. It's in my Spotify or your YouTube
thing.
music.
Here we go.
He's gonna get it.
It's
Wow.
I'm not stalling.
You got
my phone.
You
I'm
got
clicking.
this?
I'm clicking buttons and it's not working.
All right, I'm going to talk about a random topic.
Why don't you do
for
yours
fun.
while I do this?
All right,
Help
sounds
me
good.
out here.
One of my first jams this week. I don't know if you know this. Will Ferrell has children.
His kid's an artist.
His son Magnus Ferrell is writing like 1970s like soft R&B inspired, I would say just vibe music, period. And it's actually amazing. Like genuinely fucking cool. Go listen to it. Asleep Talking is like such a jam, and you would not like when I say Will Ferrell's kid is making music, I think immediately people are like industry plant, Nepo baby, whatever. No, listen, he's talented. He sounds great. Go listen to the song Asleep Talking. It's amazing. Highly recommend. It's very Robin Thicke style. Like he's got a lot of falsetto. Really, really just a beautiful voice. But he's like, the song sounds like it would be something that would be featured in like an Anchorman soundtrack. So highly recommend.
Okay.
Check it out. Magnus Ferrell's great. My other jam this week, I finished book 2 of Crescent City. It's House of Sky and Breath, and I have not clapped and yelled "fuck yeah" to a book outside of a Brandon Sanderson book in a long time. And this book, at the end of it, they did a character reveal where I literally clapped and yelled "fuck yeah" in my car by myself as I'm listening to the end of this book. I'm in an unofficial book club with about 7 ladies now. It's me and 7 ladies. We're reading Crescent City and ACOTAR. Sarah J. Maas, her writing has gotten so good over time. I highly recommend. As much as I'd love to recommend people just start with Crescent City, don't. Read ACOTAR. It's a great series. I don't know much about Throne of Glass. That series isn't for me, but I highly recommend ACOTAR and Crescent City. Read them in that order. If you're going to read them, if they're interesting at all, they are a little bit smutty, which is fun. Also, these books, she's gotten better at writing sex scenes because I was actually like a couple of sex scenes. I was like, oh, good job, Sarah. All right. Okay. I see where you're going with this descriptor. Like, and that's such a cool thing that I think it's demonized in literature. Like, people are like, oh, yeah, you wrote a sex scene in a book. It's like, yeah, people have sex, dude. Like, I don't know. Do you want to know what good sex, like, reads like? Maybe. But genuinely, this book was phenomenal front to back. And it's like, it's action, thriller, detective, multiverse, fantasy, sci-fi. Like, it's a little bit of everything. And when I first started reading the series, I was like, how is she going to balance this all? I don't know. The answer is I don't know how she's balancing it all, but she is. Highly recommend.
I love that.
Thanks. What's your jam?
Artist I was thinking of is I think it's pronounced Die Spitz.
D Spitz.
You heard of them? D Spitz?
Yeah.
Is that?
D.
Yeah. Found them through their song Punishers.
Okay.
Really interesting band. I like them. I mean, one of their singles is called My Hot Piss.
Yep.
Another one is called like I Hate When Girls Die.
Yep.
They're good. I like their vibe a lot.
A lot of tongue-in-cheek lyricism.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and just like a really good sound to it, a really good vibe. I've been vibing with it a little bit.
Yeah,
this
they got
week.
a little bit of angst. How would you describe
Yeah,
it? How would you describe it for the listeners?
Well, I think a little bit of angst.
Okay.
Is
What
is good.
genre of music do you put this in?
Oh God, I'm so bad at genres of music. I mean, we talk about this all the time. Like, I'll be like, "Yeah, it's a metal band." You're like, "That's not a metal band." I'm like, "I don't know. It says it's a metal band."
Where do you put D Spitz?
I don't really know. Like, alternative, like. God.
I love
Like,
this. I'm
what?
keep-
Alternative, like
alternative hard rock.
I was gonna say like pop rock, but yeah, hard rock.
Yeah,
kinda.
alternative hard rock. Yeah.
Hard rock, pop rock.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
D Spitz is sick.
Don't ask me to do genres of music.
Or think about it ahead of time, Odie. Or know that
I
I'm
put
gonna
zero
ask
thoughts
you
into
that.
my jams every week. I never think about them. I'm too busy doing news and making us
And
clips
playing
for YouTube.
D&D.
Okay, and playing D&D and editing movies and videos and working and existing.
And we got to go do that now.
I do.
Thank you, everybody, for listening to another episode of the UnPop Podcast. Thank you for weathering this absurd existence with us. If you have any questions, comments, concerns about our mental health, subpoenas, or you would like us to podcast live at your funeral, feel free to email mysecretpoweris@gmail.com. Art by FrankAce. Music by moi. We'll see you next week when we're talking about...
Something.
We're going to talk about something. See you next week.